We got our thing going on
I
already.
know. I do that all the time. It's like I'm start like conversation. Let's see who's going to jump on.
I wanted to jump in here. I was like, I don't know if I'm doing this right or what. Where do I go?
Yeah, come on,
Yeah,
you've
I
been
missed
on.
it.
You've been on with Denali, and it's the same thing. I'm casual. It's not an interview. It's a conversation. We're just chatting. I love that because I love to hear people's stories, but I also want the community to see
Right.
how diverse we are too. Like right now people are, I don't consider it woke because my mission is letting people know I've been black for 50 years, so it's not like all of a sudden we're like this community that's going, we've been here, but it also allows the community to see how big and diverse we are. Hey Lori, thanks for jumping on. I know it's people going to be coming on, so we're going to wait for a few people. People have been DMing me and commenting, and I know some of Ty's friends are going to be rolling in. There's New England Betty Boop, my friend Lizette. Lizette and I just had a great podcast conversation today.
Nice.
I have a new podcast. Well, I've been had the podcast, but I'm starting a new series called Conversation with Friends, and
Okay.
Lizette was my first guinea pig. We talk. Hey, Wendy Span, my girl Ty, right? I'm saying that correctly, right?
Hi.
Lux Huntress. We're going to get to that name in a minute. I already know what she's doing, what that means, but we want to find out who she is. So everyone, this is Ty. She is the Lux Huntress. If you don't know, look how beautiful she is.
Thank
Look at her.
you.
That smile, I'm telling you, like I'm so excited. You know what?
I
Somebody
literally
say
just
hi.
I learned when I oh
You look. Hey friends, Jennifer Smith, Girly Girl Style Hubs, who is Bill. I see Wendy Span. Lori Owens, hello. Lori will be on tomorrow with our over 50 chat. Um, yeah, so Shalonda Tynes, hello, everyone. Thanks for coming in. If you are on the chat and you haven't say hi, just wave so that we can see that you're there and we can acknowledge. Hit the thumbs up. Lizette will be on you in a minute to do that anyway because she's not having it. So Foxy Roxy, hello. So hi, so everybody, this is Ty. Ty, introduce yourself for people who don't know you. The community is big, and there's a lot of people we don't know that we never heard of, never seen. As many people don't know me. Like who you what? So tell everybody who you are.
I'm Ty, she said, or Lux Huntress on Instagram. I'm also Lux Huntress on YouTube. I don't post very many videos. It may have been a year since I've posted a
Wow,
video, but
wow,
that's because I'm super busy
yeah.
and my priorities come first. And I'm not a huge content creator. I'm just kind of living my life.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I pop on, sometimes I don't.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, I just try to, I have a job, I have work to do.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
a job, my work is not YouTube or Instagram. I just love popping on every now and then. And I haven't really got around to the content side of it, like actually going out on the hunt for
Mm-hmm.
thinking about what am I going to post today. I
Right.
just don't do that. So that would be what that would explain why I'm not on YouTube so much. But I would love to get back on YouTube one day, just not today.
Okay. It's all about priorities. If I had like younger children or if I was working outside of the home, like I was before before I got started reselling, I would be doing very little. But because I'm just, everything's inclusive, I do have a little bit more time, but I totally understand. There are days when I just said, I'm just going to post one day, once on Instagram and just keep it moving because
Right.
it's, priorities are really important. You're running a business, and I like hearing that. I watched you talking to Alex from List Perfectly the other day, and I got to hear a little bit more of your story. And I like listening to people's stories of how they got started. And you were talking about how you didn't know anything about sourcing. So tell everybody a little bit of like how you got started. You started kind of like thrifting years ago, but the reselling was kind of like fairly new.
Well, I've been selling on eBay for almost 20 years. I started right out of high school. And so, I've been reselling for a while. However, I haven't been reselling clothing for that long. I've been reselling clothing for about 6 or 7 years.
Wow.
And in case you guys didn't catch that story, I had a neighbor who lived down the hall. She invited me to her apartment one day, and our apartments are in Seattle. Studio apartments are really popular, so they're tiny. So at the end of the halls, they had a loft studio So that means, kind of there's like a small room at the bottom, and then at the top you have like your where you sleep. I looked up, I said, "Why do you have all those clothes up there? What's going on? Why do you have all those racks up there?" And she goes, "Oh, I sell on Poshmark." And I said,
Mm,
"What's Poshmark?"
mm.
How that got started. She said that she went to Goodwill and she would buy things for cheap and then she would sell them. And I was like, "Hey, I love doing that." So
Yes.
I went with her one time and I just from there I just took off with it. You give me just a little nibble, give me
Wow.
a little nibble and I'm off. And
Wow.
at the time I was looking for something else to do because I had come from Texas and I was doing three things. I was Ubering, I cleaned homes, and I was walking dogs at the time. I was very exhausted. I was doing my best to save up money so that I could get to where I live now.
Hmm.
And so now I'm here and
Yeah.
that's my reselling story. So I've been reselling clothing for about 7 years now.
Yeah, I like that story a lot, and I just like the fact that she's like, "Yeah, I'm selling on Poshmark," and you're going like, "What? What?"
Yeah, that's
You
why
know?
I'm inquisitive. I'm like, I want to know what that is because I
Yeah.
like to sell and have all these cool clothes. Because I mean, she took me up there and showed me all the different clothing that she had, and I went, "You got this at Goodwill?"
Wow.
I couldn't believe it because I actually went to fashion school, so
Hmm.
I knew all the brands, I knew everything that existed, but I didn't know that there was this whole other world out there of buying the old stuff and reselling it online for money, not for clothing at least. So
Wow. Yeah,
yeah.
that I know because you grow up and of course, you're going to the thrift stores and things like that. Like I grew up in the thrift store. My mother took
Yeah.
us, and I raised 5 children. Look, I didn't have a lot of money, so that's how they were able to get their clothes. And I say that now, like I wish I knew about reselling years ago.
Me.
Aside from like the school uniforms that were mandated, I was like, my son was just growing and growing and growing. And I could
Exactly.
have taken those clothes that he wore instead of having to redonate them and probably sell them. But that's then, and I'm here now. But still, you think about like so much time went by because you were selling different things on eBay, right?
Oh yeah. I
Of
went
course, you
from
said you weren't selling
I
clothes,
did
so nowhere
hair,
near.
geeks, I did electronics. I just went whatever was making money and was hot
Yeah,
at the time, I did. Kind
yeah.
of went with the flow kind of thing. But clothing's always hot, so
Yeah. Yeah, you
I
can. I
kind
mean, and especially if you have an eye
of
for clothes. Yeah,
yeah.
especially since you know fashion, and the thing about fashion is we talk about in the community is when we're reselling, we need to know what's trendy, right? Because today it's popular and tomorrow it's not, and you're wondering, well, why can't I get rid of stuff? Even if you're thrifting or sourcing for it, there still is a timeline on it. and it,
Exactly.
and it's not like a 5 year timeline. Like vintage is a whole different thing. People get confused. Like they think it's 5 years old is vintage. No, darling, I'm vintage.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah. So when you think vintage, think 50 years ago or so.
Yeah. And
So
the time for vintage and antique is
yeah,
getting, it's like wow. A few years ago it was like in the 70s, and now it's 80s.
isn't
The
it something?
further the years get, the more
I
vintage
know.
it get.
That's it. So because when I pop on it, like I was selling a lot on Depop 2 years ago, and now I just have some stuff on there. I'm not really, but I got into Depop and I was like, oh, I can relate to this. And the reason why I can is because they're wearing the clothes that I hated when I was growing up. I used to be like, come
Yeah,
on, like
yeah.
seriously, like
It
these are
all
the only
back around.
jeans.
Very cyclical fashion.
Yes, it's amazing. So I'm like, cool if I can find it. So I know what to look for because you don't have to tell me about Run DMC and LL Cool J and all that because I met them and I love them. And
Right.
so when you're talking about an authentic, Adidas sweatsuit, if I can find that sucker, I'm gonna flip it for some really good money. So that's vintage right there, right?
Yeah.
So now I know you take the bins. What was your after your neighbor introduced you to Goodwill? Was that the retail side of it, or was that automatically you went to the bins for the first time?
Well, she took me with her the first time to the Capitol Hill Goodwill in Seattle.
Hmm.
And we, let me see, I went there with her for about maybe 6 months. We would go every Monday. Every Monday they have a sale. It's like $1.67. I don't know what it is now because it's been some years. But they everything of a certain color would be $1.67. So I would actually go and scope it out a few days before.
Wow.
Um, and as you're getting closer to Monday, like Sunday would be 50% off, and
Mhm.
like Saturday would be 30% off. So the percentage got more and more
Wow.
as you went on, and then finally on Monday it was $1.67. So I would even hide things. I'd be like, okay, tomorrow I'm coming back to get this. I'm stopping this, and I'm gonna do. And I'd know exactly where my little spots were, and I'd go
Wow.
and grab my stuff. You should see us running in there grabbing the stuff we did the night before. I'd go there like 3 minutes before they close and hide stuff all over
Wow.
the
I
next
think
day.
that's hysterical.
I'd be first in line. Yeah. I learned all these things from people that have been going there way before I did.
Wow.
So I went to the bins with her for about
Your volume's going out a little bit, right?
let's see. What about now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
It's just kind of like when we talk, it's kind of like got a static thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like a static thing going. You hear that? Something sounds like typing or something going on.
Yeah, I'm not for sure what that feedback is from. So far, I hear.
Now you're
I
actually
hear.
louder. You're louder than you have been.
Should we? Is there any way? Let's see. I don't know. What about now? Is it still like
No,
weird?
you're louder, and I don't hear that typing. Yeah, I don't know what that is.
I can hear it when you talk. Can you hear when I talk? I can't hear it when I talk.
Let me hear it again. Yeah, that's weird. I'm going to put some headphones on.
Okay. Such a nice day. Woo! Too nice for this Rona to be going on. Man.
Yeah, that's weird. I don't know what that is.
This staticky thing.
That's weird. Okay, is this better?
I'm fine on my end, but I can hear the.
Yeah, it's something going on. It's actually in my
Can you
ear.
hear when you're talking? When I'm talking,
No, I can hear it.
I can't hear it unless you talk.
That's weird. Yeah, it's some kind of weird thing going on.
Should we?
Yeah, it's
Should we
inside
like?
it's inside my thingy here.
Okay. Should we like do
Hello.
a come back thing or?
Yeah, we might have to because I don't know. I've never heard that before. That is weird. I thought it would help on my headphones. Something's going on. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Wait, you stay in there. I'm gonna go out.
Okay. Lonely. I'm so lonely. Wait for her to come back. I can't see anybody's comments or anything.
Hello,
I'm gonna have
hello,
to talk
hello,
to you guys.
hello, hello. Can you hear me? It is. Okay, we're gonna everybody in the chat. We're gonna go totally out. I'm gonna log out, and then Ty's gonna come right back in. We're gonna totally go off and go live again because I don't know what's going on. It sounds like mice or something kind of climb through my.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll be back in just a couple minutes.
Okay.
Okay. Hello, 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 hello. Hello, 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 hello. Yeah. Hello, hello.
Still there?
Yeah, but as soon as you log on, it comes in. When you weren't here, that wasn't going. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello.
Not as bad.
Okay. So turn your volume up just a little bit or move closer. It was at one point when you moved with your device. That is so weird because when I came on by myself, I couldn't hear it. Melissa says it's gone, but it's there, Melissa. Okay, we'll work through it. Let me acknowledge some people. Tara Allen, hello. Vandy's Closet, that's Melissa. I'm gonna turn down my volume a little bit and see if that is, yeah. Yeah, it literally sounds like somebody is in my computer. Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, when I hit your mute button, it's on your end. Something weird. Yeah.
I can hear it when you talk, but I can't hear it when I talk.
Really? Yeah, and when I hit mute and I talk, I don't hear it at all. When I hit mute on your side, I don't hear it at all, which is really weird. So it's a connection kind of thing going. So everyone, hello, thank you for joining us. We're going to work through it. If it irritates you too much, then just let us know. I don't think it's that bad because I won't be talking that much then. I'll let Ty talk. So we were talking about the bins. What was your first experience with the bins?
So I had been going to the Goodwill outlet for quite a bit, probably a year, when I ran into a lady that I would see frequently, and she said, "Oh, I always see you here. Have you been to the bins?" I said, "The bins? What are the bins?" And she said, "Oh, it's so awesome." She goes, "Only thing is, it's really gross." And I said, "What?" And I have like kind of a tiny bit of OCD, just maybe like a tiny bit, like undiagnosed maybe, but I was like, gross. I don't know. But she made it sound so cool. I'm like, 80 cents for a silk Gucci top. I must go to this place. So I had met another young lady there, Hillary, and I would see her every Monday, and I would engage with her. So I said, "Hey, let's go check out the bins together. Let's go see what it's all about." So we went, and we that week we went every day after that. We loved it. We were just digging. It was just like a treasure hunt, and
Yeah.
that's the day I fell in love with the bins. So it's like you run into people, and they give you these little nuggets, and you're like, I've always been the let's see person and the take a risk person. I'm down for a calculated risk. I'm like, this 1 + 1, this seems like that'll be good. Okay, let's do it. So I'm not afraid to jump in there and do things.
Yeah,
so.
definitely. Turn your volume up a little bit if you can. I'm going to say, I'm just going to hit, oh, okay. Yeah, it's just like weird. I'm just going to hit the mute when I talk. So for us, the bins are just like amazing because we've been going. It was just a normal place for us to go all the time, Thomas and I. So for 8 years, we've been just going to the bins and going to the outlet. And people are like, "Oh, the bins." And one day he said to me, "What's the bins?" Because he was already reselling, my husband, before I started reselling. That's how I got started. And so he's like, "What's the bins?" I'm like, "The same outlet we've been going to." Just like, and I have, ours were really nice in the beginning. We still go. That's our main place to source. But we have people from a lot of different countries who come in and they send stuff back to them. So it's really packed. Right. And I tell people, if you want to go to the bin, if you want to try, mine is the place to try. Because any type of anxiety that you have, any type of fear, you'll just experience it all in one day. Because it'll be crowded.
Soto, Seattle, definitely.
Yeah, that's
It's quite interesting. I mean, it's about 200 feet from a methadone clinic, so you get a lot of people coming out of the clinic, and they'll be hanging over the bins, and you're like, "Are you okay?" But after a while, you get used to it because they just come from a treatment and they're wandering around like zombies. So there's a lot going on.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot. It is an experience, though. I tell people to try it. Yeah. You never know what you're gonna like until you try it. Like, and especially, I even say to people, like, they'll be, "Oh, my bins is an hour away." That's nothing. Like, make a trip of it.
I get on a ferry for an hour, but I wait about an hour before I get on the ferry, and then I drive an hour and a half when I get off the ferry, and then I have to drive back home after. And you talking about an hour? Let's go. I wish it was just an hour.
Wow. Okay, friend. So you had no excuse. Ty gives you no excuse. Wow. See, you hear her. She waits for the ferry, gets on the ferry, then drives an hour and a half. You have no excuse now. Like, you can make a day of it. You can make a weekend of it. The bins is totally a place that is worth getting a hotel room. Now, I'm not saying get on a plane now somewhere, but like get in your car and drive 2 hours. Well, people do. I mean, of course, if we're going somewhere, like that's the ultimate thing. If you're already traveling, like when we were at Patch Fest, people that was their goal. They heard about this, they heard about that. If I was, I had actually planned to come into Seattle in May, but because of what's going on, that got canceled. But if you know you're going somewhere, but if you have like 1 to 2 hours away and you've been sitting on that little nugget, like you don't know what you're missing until you go. 2 hours is literally nothing,
Yeah.
so just plan it ahead of time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does anybody it says tell us about your LA Benz adventure, Ty. Lori said. So plan up oh my gosh. Do you know Lori Ciela Gal Style?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Right. Yes, I
Yeah,
do.
Lori's one of my good friends. Your volume, if you can, I don't know why your volume's not or turn. At one point, when you turn, are you on your phone? Or
I'm on my phone. Yeah.
when you at one point you turned it around and your volume went up. Now you're like a little bit low. Other than that,
Okay. How about
um,
is it higher now? Is it higher now?
yep,
Okay, so maybe I should just get closer to
yeah, okay.
the
So
phone.
she said, "Tell us about your LA Benz adventure." Is that something? No.
Well, at right now, there's no LA Band Adventures, unfortunately. But in the previous years, me and my best friend Denali, also El Ducho,
El Ducho.
on on Instagram, she and we go to LA. We get a Airbnb or hotel together, and then we'll stay in LA for minimum 3 days.
Nice,
And we go literally from the time they open to the time that they close because
nice.
that's what we're there to do. We're there to work, and we're not going to do this all the time. So we really hit it.
Yeah,
And we're able to get up to about 100 pounds a day individually or more.
yeah.
We usually hit 100 pounds. And so, I mean, I think our last trip we hit, um, and I think it's on Instagram. I want to say together we got almost 1,000 pounds. It's crazy.
Yeah,
So yeah, we really half a ton is what we
yeah,
got. So we really go hard when we go
yeah,
there. Just two little ladies go into the LA bins. We really like the LA bins because the LA bins have LA is very, I mean, it's huge. So they
yeah,
get lots of donations and they have lots of fashion houses there. Revolve is there.
yeah.
Uh,
Nice.
Beach Bunny. There's all kinds of
Wow.
other brands that are
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
and they donate. They just come dump it. I mean, unfortunately, we were never there for the Revolve dumps, but I've
Mhm.
heard people, just
Oh
like
my
going
gosh.
like this. I can't imagine being there on a Revolve day
I
when
can't
they just.
even.
I've been there during a Beach Bunny day, the ladies,
Wow.
and I mean, I racked up like 20 Beach Bunnies one time, and I was just pulling them out. I was like,
Wow.
give it, give me.
That's amazing. I would be totally down for that because oftentimes I tell people like when I want to travel somewhere, they're like, "Oh, where can we sourcing?" And I'll say, I literally have like we're surrounded by Goodwills, we're surrounded by like three bins, kind of like local in New Jersey, is only about 45-minute drive away. I hear see Lori in here saying she would do a binge trip, but ours is big. We don't have like Revolve and all that, but it's like where I don't have to go anywhere else. So people are like, "Oh, you come here." I'm like, "No, I'm good. I just want to see you. Let's just get together, and spend some time and break bread and whatever because it's plenty of stuff for me to find
Yeah,
when I'm on a road trip, when I go to like my mom's house from Delaware, we're on a road trip. I map out like all the places we're going to stop. I love that because it's like three bins in Virginia, and we're like going through, so you can hit it going up, and then on your way back you can hit it. So that's how my husband Thomas and I we source like that, like with a plan. Everyone after my son graduated in Columbia, South Carolina last year, my daughter went with us. He sells in Poshmark. We were at the stores. We had them all written down, and we were hitting. And I love that kind of stuff. If you plan your actual trip around sourcing, and it's much more fun. It's not stressful that way. You go to work, but then you can eat and
no, once you become a reseller, you have
Mhm.
that. I mean, no matter what vacation, I was in Hawaii. I'm like, they got some thrift stores around here.
For real. Because when are you going
Like
to do that
on
again? Like you might get
vacation,
to
but
Hawaii, right?
yeah. Mhm.
Right. You might get to Hawaii like how often? So let's see what they have. And look, you're gonna show that Southwest Airlines people, right? Bring an extra bag. My
Yeah,
my jam is usually American Airlines because I have a lot of points, but like Southwest, when we went to Posh Fest, people were like, I took Southwest just because I'm coming back with 3 or 4 bags. Hey, they let you have unlimited bags. That's how you
Right.
travel, right? Hey.
I like
Uh,
to use. I did do that, but I like to be able to use whatever airline is cheapest. So I use a lug less,
mm,
which is you can ship the items back to you instead
nice.
of a carry on or a checked bag. So
Nice.
it ranges from like $25 for um, under 25 pounds. I could be wrong because it's been a while since I traveled with
Wow.
it.
And is it a website or an app?
Yeah, www.lugless,
Lug
Lugg.
less friend. Okay, Tiye started something now. So everybody lug less. And you can ship your items back, she's saying. Oh my gosh, I
Right.
love
You
that.
can ship it in a box or you can ship it in a luggage. I highly suggest that you do not ship it in a luggage because when you get your box, it is trashed. I mean, it looks like it went through
Yeah.
a thunderstorm, a hailstorm, firestorm, and everything once it gets to you. So I can't imagine what a luggage would look like when it
Wow.
gets returned. But you get to ship up to 50 pounds, which
Wow.
is quite a bit. So we've shipped, let's see, for me to get things from here, from Colorado, because that was my last trip, so I'm kind of referring back to that.
Hmm.
Um, I shipped 4 boxes and it was like 143 or something.
Nice. That's not bad at all.
Yeah, you get
That
insurance for all
that's
that.
definitely not bad at all, considering what you're gonna make at the other end when you sell everything.
Those 4 bags would cost me over 500 to bring on the airline.
Wow.
It would be 450 or four something. It was
Wow.
almost $500.
Well, so
You
that's
know,
lug less. That's for people who like to travel, like Lori, who goes to see her children. Different people on here who think yes. Oh my, Kim Miller says, "Oh my God, lug less." I'm looking it up. I love it. Definitely. Now, see that'll help convince me because I'm like such a minimalist when I travel because I don't like a lot of stuff. So that would probably help me, source a little bit more when I do travel. Then I feel much better about that.
right?
Yes, I'm down for
I
that.
might take one bag with me, one check bag full of all the cool stuff that I gotta list
Hmm.
right now. Because there's always that stuff where you're like, oh, I
Yeah,
can't wait. I can't wait to get it, so I need to
yeah,
list it now. So I always have like a carry on or a check, that I will
right.
bring with me. But I just don't want to overdo it because I've
Yeah,
been working for 3 days
right.
and I can't, like with the 3 and 4 bags, and it's just a lot.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I can
I also
imagine.
while we're there, we also we take our thread up labels with us, and so when we get there, we box up anything that we're going to send up
Nice.
to thread up right there, instead of bringing it all home. Because of course, the less you have of thread up stuff, the more you can put,
Yeah,
some
yeah. I
people,
love that. I love it.
yeah,
I love it. Like people, do you hear that? Like they are printing out their thread up labels, taking them with them, and you get a box or whatever and ship it off the thread up. You don't have to bring your stuff back, especially people who source intentionally to send the thread up with a real or any of these places like this. Come on now. I love it. Like look at Ty teaching us something here. For real,
girl, I
look, look, let me tell you something. Even the people who are like serious in the game that are sourcing and going out, sometimes we don't think about things and we need someone else to say to us, well, how about this? Because, like I just said, I really get hesitant about traveling and sourcing because I just don't want to bring it all back. You're already tired from traveling and you got to go through TSA and all that. Who wants to deal with all that stuff? So you've already given us love less. Now you're like, take your label and send that stuff to thread up. Why take
right.
all that stuff home? It's
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Things for things that you're just gonna send off anyway.
Yeah, I
So
love
we
it.
always at an Airbnb that has like a washer because I am a huge fan of washing anything that I get from the bins. I
Yeah.
know that a lot of people don't, but I prefer to wash things. I don't think
Hmm.
it's right to send people things that
Hmm.
we don't know where they're
Hmm.
where they've been.
Hmm.
That's just my personal, but
Hmm.
other people might do it a different way, and
Yeah,
there's nothing wrong with
yeah,
doing it a different way
yeah.
because you're also supposed to wash everything that you get from the store or that you buy online. you need to wash it before you wear it because you don't know what factory it was made
Right.
in, or even brand new items need to
Yeah.
be washed
Yeah.
before you wear them. So whether or not you wash them is
Right.
your
Right.
preference. If they don't
Yeah.
smell, then good
Yeah.
for you.
Well, definitely the bins, because like one thing, I was going through the bins like so often, and then all of a sudden I was getting like sick with like sore throats and stuff, and I couldn't understand why. And that's when I became full time. So I was going at this point now. I went from working and going to the bins only a couple times a month, right, to
Right.
going a couple times a week, and I couldn't understand it, and I had developed some severe allergies. So just
Okay.
imagine like all this stuff that's floating in the bins. You lift something up, it's like the best looking thing, but it has cat fur all on it. You know you're gonna take it, but you need to take it home right away,
Yeah.
right? And like wash it. So imagine going through all these bins, and the stuff is like going in your face. And that's why I had a mask before we had to get masks. And
Right.
I take my Zyrtec before I go and put a mask on because stuff is flying all over. So imagine taking that stuff home and just
Hmm.
steaming it and sending it to somebody. That makes perfect sense. That to wash that stuff,
Yeah.
that's what you're supposed to do. Let me
Yeah.
see.
And if I used to wash my stuff, I used to take it to um a laundromat that's um if 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 I'm not traveling.
Mhm.
Once I get home, like if I go to Seattle Bends or something like that, there's a laundromat down from about 5 minutes from my house. I used to go there to wash all the clothes because I didn't want to put it in my washer.
Right.
But you have they have actually they have detergents that you can put inside of your washer that will clean. You run it on a hot
Mhm.
cycle,
Mhm.
clean all the bacteria and fungus
Mhm.
out, and
Yep.
then I can start washing my clothes again. So
Yeah.
I wash all the bin stuff first, or
Mhm.
after I wash my stuff,
Mhm.
and then put the cleaning agent in there, let
Mhm.
it do its thing, and then I can go back to washing my own
Yeah.
clothes. So
Yeah, I
start the
had some of that stuff.
that.
I was just an affiliate. Somebody sent me a free box of stuff, and I used that to promoting on Instagram and everything. And that stuff looks so nice. You throw it in
Oh,
there,
it
and these wipes
smells
that you can
so
wipe off.
good.
Oh my goodness! So people, you should be doing that anyway with your washing machine, especially because the back in the day washing machines, they last for like 20 years. But imagine the stuff was gooping up in there. So you should be
Mhm.
cleaning out your washing machine anyway, even if you didn't have the special stuff, hot water with some bleach or something and some detergent and run that sucker through. So
Yeah.
I see some people jumping on the page. Mila, sorry for we're having just some disconnection. It doesn't like my voice. Um, Tara Allen, Daniela just came on. Fashion Week 70. Thank you guys for coming on. I don't think it sounds as good on your end as it sounds to us, friends. So because people are still on there, like listen, like they like the love dress hit everybody. And hello.
Nice.
Wait, let me go through. Okay, here we go. So, tell me about, we're going through all this stuff right now. Keep it light, keep it light. You started a fund, and I want to hear about that. I want to know what the fund is, why you decided to start a fund, and what the purpose of it is, and how's it going so far.
Well, the Black Reseller Fund, I started that to help, you know, the economic elevation of Black people because after all the protesting, the marching, then it's like now what? Okay, we accomplished this, we accomplished that. Okay, now what? And if you didn't know, the economic stronghold is such a huge fight that we have to acknowledge. We have to acknowledge that because we don't have certain funds in our community, we can't do certain things, and we can't have certain things within our community and have certain protections. It's all tied to money. So if we are able to economically elevate, then we can in turn, do a lot more for our communities.
Yeah.
So I know a lot of there were those who looked at it as a handout. They said, hey, we don't want the white folk giving us anything. We didn't
Hmm.
ask for it.
Hmm.
That's not our resellers.
Hmm.
And that's true. The reason why I started the fund is for people like myself.
Hmm.
Anytime I do something, it's related to an experience that I've had. And so I can't speak for those of you who see it as a handout because all I know is that when I was 20 something, I knew because I'm a black woman, I've
Mm-hmm.
got all creativity in me.
Mm-hmm.
If you have black women, we're very creative. We come up with ideas like that, but we don't always have the money to carry
Right.
out those ideas. And
Right.
if we could just get that first push, if
Yeah.
we could just get a push, there's the first push, which is um, getting funds so that you can get caught up because
Yeah.
it's always a behind factor. Once you get caught up, you need another push.
Yeah.
Uh, Now you need another push that's going to help you make money. And then after that, we need to push you to go back to where you
Yeah.
started and give to that. So the idea that came to my mind is let's get these ladies and gentlemen economically stimulated. And then once they grow, they can come back and give to the fund. And so we continue to do that and continue to grow within our community. Now, I can't speak for the the Black Lives Matter movement, the bailout movements, the Feed America movements. I don't know anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not very versed in those. I don't know anything about those. I'm not highly involved in those. But what I do know is about the reseller community, which is why I started it within the
Mm-hmm.
reseller community because that's where my platform is. That's
Mm-hmm.
what I know about. And I tell you the truth, I didn't want to go out and study where it's very important to me where the dollars actually go. I remember when I was protesting and I was, you know, um, giving funds like before I started protesting, Red Cross and all that was
Mm-hmm.
helping. Like, okay, I learned somewhere that only 13 cents on the dollar goes to the actual cause with Red
Mm-hmm.
Cross. I don't know what the factor is with Black Lives Matters, but when things get huge like that,
Mm-hmm.
the money starts getting lost.
Right. Right.
If you've been around for a while,
Mm-hmm.
you know this. Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, where's this money going to?
Mm-hmm.
Who's actually getting this money? Where's it going? When you're smaller and you're inside of your local community, you can help that group and you
Mm-hmm.
know exactly where it's going. That's why you see me providing receipts. I don't want anyone to be able to say, "Oh, now she done took the money." Blah
Mm-hmm.
blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
I bought 4 pallets. I spent 3 of the pallets were for the Black Reseller Fund, and I had to pitch in about $800 to complete that. And I also bought a pallet for myself as I was purchasing those so that I can get
Mm-hmm.
a discount. When you buy them all together, you get a
Right.
discount. Then you can utilize that discount on more shipments later on. So if when I get my pallet, I'll pull out what I want, and then I will donate the rest to the fund. There'll be things that are
Mm-hmm.
really good, but they just don't interest me.
Right.
Like I like flowery stuff and things that are like really really interesting. And so you can give me a Gucci top, and I'm like, but it's just plain.
Yeah.
Like so I'll pass that on. I'm just weird that way.
Yeah.
So that's my whole idea with the reseller fund. It wasn't about a handout. It's about, and there's going to be information within the box that comes
Mm-hmm.
to each reseller
Mm-hmm.
that, like, it teaches us about financial stability, consistency, being motivated, and learning how to continue to give back within your community. And our community is the reseller community. So hopefully this all goes well, and it's a full circle. We come
Yeah.
back. It's like we came up in the reselling community. It don't take long to come up.
Yeah.
I don't know if
I know that.
it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
take long to
No.
come up.
Yeah.
That's why I started with a minimum of 20 items, and we'll give you 3 more pushes beyond
Nice.
that because I know that first push, in my experience, is going to
Mm-hmm.
get you caught up. You got
Mm-hmm.
bills that you're already behind on,
Right.
and once you make that money,
Yeah.
it's not gonna be contributing to your come up. The
Yeah.
second box will help you get
Control.
beyond
Yeah.
where you are. So
Yeah.
it's based off my experience. It has nothing to do with the handout.
Right.
We had Asians, Hispanics, blacks.
Right.
We had everybody gave to our fund.
Right.
We had businesses, even GoFundMe
Yeah.
gave to our fund.
Nice.
They gave us more than Poshmark. So
Nice.
we it's all about economic elevation
Yeah.
for our community as Black
Yeah.
people. It has
Yeah.
nothing to do with the white folks owe us.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever your opinion may be about that, we worked free for 300 years. Take what that take from that what you think.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
might say that works, some might say they don't. Whatever. That's not the argument.
Yeah.
My thing is I'm doing my part. What I can
Yeah.
do what's in my power to
You
keep
got
walking.
stuck. Oh, got a blackout going on there. Can you hear me? Can't hear you at all. I can see you moving. Nope, that's not working. Nope. Because I was about to jump right in, like yeah, you play around a little bit. I was going to say, like, everything that Ty just said. Go ahead. You're going to come back. Yep. We've been having technical difficulties, so I just want to say for everyone who has been on, I appreciate you sticking with us. People probably jumped on and they think they can't hear whether we've been struggling for a minute, and so thank you for being on. Ty, I'm in Delaware. Ty's in Seattle, so sometime that happens. When it comes to Wi-Fi, she's back. Let's see what happens next. Look, I'm like, no, no. Oh my God, no, Ty. Where's your next device? Look, it was just getting good too because I had a nice comeback. Hmm? I can't. Oh no! Like even people were like, I can't hear ya. Yeah, I know. Look, Lizette is just like me. It was good. You were like going on. Oh my gosh, it was like, oh my gosh. Um, go out one more time because we might have to like reset this up for another time because I really wanted to like yeah, she says try yes, Tara Allen says yes, it was getting good. Oh, it was getting good. Do you have another device that you can quickly jump on? A tablet, a computer? You have a computer? So she's looking at the tablet, Paige Miller. So we're going to see, turn off your phone all the way. That's a really good one. When she comes back, we'll say that to her because it could be interference. She's in a nice little corner. Look at that. Look how nice that looks. How's everybody doing today? So, hey, Ellen, what's going on? Kim, I said hello to you. I saw Lori jump on a minute ago. Hello, Lori, Tata, and everyone who joined. Melissa, Vandy's Closet, new to you, Steels and Specialties. Such a mouthful. I don't know your name. Tell me your name. I definitely, you like the laundromat idea. It'd be easier to get it all done and keep track of how much it costs to clean as well. Definitely. And keep receipts. All that stuff is right off. Fashion Gal 70. Everything that you do for your business, you should be keeping receipts. You shouldn't even think that it's just like, oh, not a big deal. You want to keep track of everything, where your money's going, whether it be the laundromat, whether it be getting supplies from the dollar store. You definitely want to keep track of everything, even if you think you run your business as a hobby, because the IRS is like, yeah, you are making money. So you definitely want to make sure you keep track. Hi, Kristen. How are you? Hello. So Lori Seattle Gal Style should know. She said it's the island Wi-Fi. Yeah, that happens because that happens even sometimes when I'm talking to Denali on occasion, the Wi-Fi interference. So I totally understand. And that's why when I have the chats, I say just come in early so that people, we can check your Wi-Fi and everything, like the ladies coming on tomorrow. So tomorrow I'm having an over 50 chat. We're going to have, Lizette, who is New England Betty Boop. We're going to have Sandra, who is Posh Lady 777, Wendy Span. We're going to have Terry, Evolving Always, and Lori is going to be on tomorrow. Lori Owens is going to be on tomorrow. So for people who are asking how they can help and contribute, Lori Owens did say that if you go to Luxehuntress on Instagram and you click the link in her bio, there will be a link for you to donate to the fund. It will also show you how much they've made up to date and what their goal to reach is. So definitely check out Ty. Check out her website. For those who don't know who Ty is, she is the Luxehuntress. She makes these great Lux boxes. So when she puts out the call, you should be ready to receive that, because they actually go really fast. Foxy Roxy, I'm interested in hearing that show. Over 50 chat, definitely. And I'm probably going to do it again. So if anyone's interested, because it'll be different people. Once a month, I do a brown girl chat. I do a Spanish girl chat. I'm working on an over 40 chat. So if you're 40 to 49, send me a DM if you're interested, because I want to get that going. And the over 50 chat is my demographic. So I'm really excited about it. I dropped the ball on that. Sandra, Posh Lady 777, she had actually mentioned to me that I was missing that demographic. So I am definitely excited about talking to the ladies and doing this. Yeah, so she's going back and forth trying to find a way to. We're good. We're talking. Anybody have any questions? What's going on? Everyone should be saying hello, dropping your closet and all that into the comments so that people can follow you. So Lori says if she's at home, she lives on the San Juan Island, not the mainland. I got you. So you're not on the mainland. That's what Lori's telling us. Okay, so that makes perfect sense. And other people are saying turn off your phone all the way, and maybe that'll help. That makes perfect sense. Okay, cool. Will I see the chat on? Yes. So tomorrow, Foxy Roxy, tomorrow the chat will be live, just like I'm talking to Ty. There will be a panel. It'll be 6 of us, 5 ladies that I'm going to be chatting with, and we're just going to be talking about life. Even though we're resellers, I like to chat and have conversation. It doesn't just have to be reselling related, because we all have very different lives, and especially once you reach the 50 age range, what else can you do with your life? Where do you go beyond what you've been doing? So definitely. Tamsin from Tamsin Threads. Hey, Tamsin, what's going on, friend? I haven't talked to you in such a long time. And today, yes, I loved our chat too. Check out the podcast, Friends of Resellers Passion podcast. I had a conversation with Lizette, who is New England Betty Boop, and Posh is My Purpose on Instagram. She is a really good friend of mine. I have Foxy Roxy is going to be 8 o'clock. I only go live. I do lives at 8 o'clock. So 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So the same time as this chat. That'll be tomorrow. Kristen says, I have to head out soon, but want to ask for positive thoughts. I've applied for an apartment, and moving isn't by choice. Rental being sold, have to get out. Me plus my team's moving during pandemic. We send you the best, Kristen. Everything's going to work out. I do believe that. And things happen for a reason. And so this is going to bring growth and possibilities beyond measure. So I wish you the best with that endeavor. As Ellen said, positive thoughts. Tamsin, it's been a while. Yes, looking for houses. Check, you just showing off, Tamsin. Hopefully grow our business and family soon. That'll be wonderful. I can't wait to hear what's going to happen. I've been watching. I watch everyone from behind the scenes. So I love to see what people are doing. This community is very big. It may seem small, but when we start kind of coming together, you realize how many people and how diverse. But I watch people from behind the scenes. Once I know you, every day or a couple times a week, I go in and just check in on all my friends just to see if they're posting, what they're doing in their businesses. I'm always curious. Once we have connected, I really, really love it. Kristen, take care. Let me know what's going on with the apartment. I hope everything works out well with you. So tomorrow will be great. I'm having a new series. I haven't really advertise it, but it's like conversation with friends, and that's what I'm doing on the podcast. So the next few episodes will be people who are personal friends of mine who are in the reselling community. So that's going to be awesome. You know, Melissa's sending out love to Kristen, who is new to You Steels and Specialties. That's right. It's all about the love. I love this community. How much do you guys love this community? Show me by hands up, by hearts, by kisses. How much do you love this awesome community? I really love it. A year ago, I didn't know many of you, and now my heart every day just overflows with the love and appreciation and the support that we show each other. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful thing. I really do. Uh-oh. Ty was something was streaming, so it threw me off. But just like how much, yes, Tams, and there you go. I just love that. Daniela, yes, it's such an amazing community that even with like Daniela, you know, like a year ago, she and I just met, so now we're friends. But I'm pretty sure she feels the same way, that now you know people, you're getting to know them. And what's up, Ty? What we got? What we got?
Oh, I don't know. Is it
Oh
working?
my gosh, there you go.
Okay. Woo. Let me get out of it from this one.
Oh, yeah, because it's got an echo in there. But yeah, we were just talking about how much we love this community. Look, all the kisses, all the hearts. I love you guys so much. The support and everything. I'm glad Ty is back, because I was waiting for my thing when she was talking about like now you're flipped upside down. What happened there?
Okay. I didn't know if it was gonna do that thing where it turned.
Oh, I know. The tablets are so Daniela saying hi, you know my friend Daniela. There's this, yes. Cool. And Tara saying so much better. Everybody was like really into it. So awesome. But I want to definitely piggyback off of what you're saying. Before I even, became a part of the reselling community years back, because you happen to say 20, 20, we're just kind of getting started. We may have some challenges, whatever your life situation is. But I'm a mom who raised 5, been married and then got divorced, been through some stuff. So I can relate being on welfare, in a sense, like not giving up some things for my children to have things. So I totally 100% get what you're doing. One, as a woman of color, totally double minority we are. And it's like, in welfare, people want to give, they're not giving you something. They're really not just giving you something, right?
Right.
Because the expectation is so high. You have to make sure your paperwork's in, or they drop you off like real quick. Mm-hmm. You got to do all this stuff, jumping through hoops just to get a little money or whatever.
It's the red tape.
It's the red tape of it all.
It's a lot of stress.
Yeah, and it's very stressful. It really is, because also you get to that point where you feel like you're begging for something, and we all get down at some point. We all need help, regardless of where you are, what your demographic, whatever. We do, but sometimes it's hard to figure out where you can get that help, because when you ask, it's like people are like, yeah, whatever, like move to the side.
Right. So they give you all these resources that are overly used and not in abundance for you to be able to get the help. It's like, oh, we have a waiting list. Oh, we have a waiting list. Look, I'm trying to feed my children. Tell me where I can go and get help now.
Exactly.
So that's kind of where I'm coming from with it. It has nothing to do with a handout or someone giving us anything. It's more you being given the opportunity to better yourself. Which betters your community, which makes things better overall. It's just like, it's like a match, It's like a little something. I wish that I didn't have to go through and do some of the things I had to do just to survive. I wish there was somebody there that said, you know what? Maybe I don't have any money to give you, but hey, I'll give you some inventory, and you can get on here and sell it and go fish for yourself.
For real. For real.
So these are things that it's in our community as Black women. What I witnessed, my mother, she would never ever ask for anything. Even if she needed it, she would never ask. She would go out and she would make it happen. I don't know what she had to do to make it happen. I don't know how many tears she had to shed. I don't know, but I know she went through it. We were on welfare. A lot of us are. Very few of my black women that I know
Yeah.
We share a very similar
Yeah.
story. A lot of us, a very
Yeah.
similar story,
Yeah.
which is all systematic, and
Yeah.
we can keep going and all
Yeah.
into that.
Yeah.
But it's meant to be that way for us,
Yeah.
and so we have to help ourselves.
Yes.
And so, being that I know the community of Black women don't like to ask, there's no outcry for me to
For real.
start this fund.
Yeah.
I already know it
Yeah.
exists. I already know it exists. I got hundreds of mails from ladies that shared their stories with me, and I'll keep them with me
Yeah.
and let me know. Just so many stories I read, and I'm still reading them actually. And these are things that people aren't seeing
Yeah.
behind the scenes, but
Yeah.
I am standing in front of the line saying, using my platform, saying, would you guys like to contribute to this
Yeah.
fund, which is going to elevate us economically
Yeah.
because we are behind
Yeah.
in economics. You can say, oh, you doing good, but that's you. Not
Yeah.
everybody is doing good as you.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
everybody
But
has.
but
And
but even with that though, we haven't arrived at doing good. We have to work because, like you were saying with your mom, I was the same with my children, where I literally would cry at night because I didn't have like money. Like I left my husband because he kept. We were homeless. We went through some stuff, and I was like, I can do bad all by myself. And I was
right,
in that situation and struggled for like 2 years. My children didn't know what I was going through because they ate every day. I made sure they ate and had clothes on their back. They may not have everything they needed. I mean, wanted, but they had everything they needed, you know.
right,
And every now
right,
and then they would get what they want. And that's why I talk
right.
about like the whole Christmas and stuff. I told people that, I don't teach my kids Santa Claus because I work too hard to give Santa credit for what I'm doing. That's how I grew up. My
Exactly. I
mama,
don't either.
yeah, my
I
mama said,
didn't either. Just
yeah,
Mama
Mom,
Claus. You
Santa
call it
Claus
Mama
ain't coming
Claus.
here. Yeah, so that's why I tell that story. People are like, oh, they need to. No, they don't. That's not something that has to be taught to them. He's
Absolutely
this guy
not.
is not coming. There is no chimney. Santa Claus is not coming to the projects. So I
Yes.
instantly write off
And he
say to
sure
my
ain't getting
children,
my cookies because I
yeah,
eat all my
yeah.
cookies.
Because if that was the case, they would have had
As you can
everything. I
tell.
never had the stuff I wanted for Christmas. Growing up, and Pop Pop gave us a lot of stuff, but that's how my children were. So we came through this thing where I did the best that I could. It would be it would be Christmas Eve, and I would be in Rite Aid trying to get them some things just so they wake up the next morning and they have something, you know.
Right.
And that was people don't realize that struggle. And I've gotten from there to here, but that was work, and I'm still working every single day. And I'm thankful. I'm appreciative. I'm humble because of my background, and I teach my children. Now that they're older, I don't pay for nothing. My daughter's 17. I don't buy nothing. She got a job. She got a job.
Right.
I don't buy nothing. I don't do birthday gifts anymore. I don't. You want that? You got to buy it yourself because I worked, and my work ethic was to teach you how to have a good work ethic. So I love the fact that you're doing that. And the other piece of it is you're exactly what you said. It's like you also feel good. You're helping the community, and then when the person receives it, they can hold their head up, and it doesn't feel like, gosh, now what
Like
I
they asked for something or they had to
exactly
go
what
to
do I have
somebody.
to do on the
They
other
they
end?
only came to me. I
Exactly.
said, yes, I'll send you the box, and that was it.
Exactly.
Now,
Exactly.
a
I
lot of
love
people
it.
are
I
worried
love
about
it.
me being
Yeah.
taken advantage of.
Yep.
They're like, what if somebody hits you up and they just want to get a box to sell? That's the whole point. That's the whole point is to
Yeah.
sell what's
To
in the
sell it.
box so that they
That's
can
right.
make money.
Make the
None
money.
of us are millionaires and so
Nope.
high that we couldn't, our
Exactly.
lives couldn't benefit from
Exactly.
having this box of
It's
inventory.
yes. But it's also, but that's like, see, I love we this conversation is going because it's like when it's any kind of saying or whatever your beliefs are, you reach back and you pull somebody, and then when you pull them next to you so you can work together. You're not in front of them, they're not behind you, you're not their leader, they're not your follower.
Right.
Are partnerships in this venture of life where you're supposed to be helping each other, and I think that is the most important thing, that if anybody can get out of what you're doing, the people who are giving sometimes will probably, oh, I'm giving because I'm contributing, but you don't know how it feels for that person who's getting it. And I
Right.
love the fact that we started this conversation, and it goes beyond, like, we don't even have to explain, but I was curious because I want to know what you're doing. I
Right.
really, I mean, you got in deep of where the money's going and the breakdown and all that. That's not necessary. I just wanted to know like what your thought process was behind it. And as you were
It's not
talking, I
necessary
literally
for
had
you
goosebumps. Like,
or
that's
someone
my
who
story.
understands.
Yeah,
It's necessary for someone who's questioning it.
exactly.
And I've always been a person that if there is one question out there, I'm going to give you the
Yeah,
answers that you're seeking because I don't want anyone to be able to go and say, well, she could be blah, blah, blah. Everything that I could be doing is right here in the front. You can see it. All you got to do is click that little dot that says
Yeah.
reseller fund. It'll walk you through all the
Yeah.
steps, everything I
Exactly.
did. And so that answers your questions,
Yeah.
anybody's question of, why would be doing this. And
Yeah.
they'll see as people are getting their boxes and, the information that I'm putting inside the boxes, it goes way far beyond someone just getting a box of inventory.
Yeah.
Because I believe, like you can give someone a box of inventory, okay, but then what? There's
Yeah.
always the checks and balances of the
Yeah.
situation.
It's
Okay,
teaching. It's teaching them to fish. It's
right.
teaching
You
them to
you
fish.
give them the box, and then
Yeah.
it's like, okay, you sell all these, and then we'll get another box
Yeah.
started, and these are the reasons why, and consistency and
Yeah.
motivation and all that stuff, matters. I mean,
Yeah.
you just can't hand someone something and be
Yeah.
like, here,
Yeah.
sell this, you know,
But
you
it's
know.
empowering too to the person who's getting it. Like this is the thing, we're getting into it a little bit deep. There's those moments where I sometimes I go, yeah, we're gonna, because I can see what direction. But this right here, I can go deep into this because what happens now is you're creating like a business mentality. It goes
Exactly.
the giving aside and the receiving aside. Now that person has it. You've empowered them to go and do something they never thought they could go beyond. They were already resellers.
Right.
They were already resellers. They see you behind the scenes. Okay, Miss Ty got it. They're on here today. And they go, oh, wait a minute. There's her story. Wow, and then the one thing you said was my mom was on welfare. Wow, because
I
then
was
it
on
takes
welfare
away.
for a little
Well,
bit. My mom was
but
on
you know what I'm
welfare.
saying though.
I was
It
on
takes
welfare.
away. It
Yeah.
takes away from what people think about you. You know what I'm saying? I always tell people that don't look at my 17,000 numbers. Start from the beginning. Go all the way back to my first video. If you wanted to connect to me on that level, you can't come in the middle of the story. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You can't
Right.
come all the way. You got to start from the beginning, and then you go, okay, wow, that's how she got her hustle. Because I've been hustling. I'm hustling every day. You talking about diversifying, making some money. If I know I can do, oh, okay, I want that. Oh, you said I can do that, and I'm 52. 50 not stopping my hustle.
It's never too
Right?
late.
It's
It's
girl.
never too late.
Hello, for
You
real.
never, you can always learn something.
Yeah, so don't see us from like, oh wait, she Lux Huntress. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean nothing. She's still hustling every day. We have mouths to feed, bills to pay, and that's really what it's about. And the hustle don't stop because somebody thought or felt a certain way. So giving back to the community is just elevates that a little bit more, and it humanizes you too. I
Right.
already knew that. Like I didn't know. Like I told people, in this community, this is actually the first time that Ty and I are actually talking to each other. But through the community, she could see who I was because you don't deal with everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm not saying
Right.
it in a mean way.
Yeah.
Sometimes you pass.
Yeah.
Pass. People follow you. It's nice, and you're not mean, but you're like, yeah, I can't because it's too much drama. So we
Yeah.
could see who each other were, but now we're making the connection, and we really see who the other
Right.
person is. So
Right.
beyond that, it keeps going. And so I love the fact that we can reveal ourselves and just see,
And
you know,
then why now? Why now?
yeah,
Because people are actually listening.
yes,
That's why.
yes,
Why now? If I
yes,
tried to do this, there's always a right time to do
yeah,
something.
yes,
If I try to
exactly,
do this
yeah,
prior to the movement
yeah,
of black hearing Black
yeah.
Lives, if I try to do this, it'd be like, girl, I ain't giving you that for what?
I
Go
know,
out
I
there and
know,
get your own.
yeah, yeah,
Because people are learning about our struggle and our fight. It now makes sense. It
yeah,
now makes sense for everyone,
yeah. It definitely,
even those of us who are Black and
yeah,
have more and want to
yeah.
help
Oh,
other Black people.
definitely.
Okay, now it makes sense.
I agree with that 100%. And even, when I was struggling, I still was helping people. Like I would get had my EBT card, and I would
Exactly.
keep a deep freezer because I had five. I got like a good amount of money. And I wish I would, in my head, I would say, gosh, I wish this was money, but at least my children are eating. So I would keep a deep freezer. I would make sure they had food, I make sure. But if I saw a mom or someone struggling, I'm like, sis, I'm not giving you any money because
Right.
but look, come on. And I would fill grocery bags of food and give them to
Yeah.
people. And that to
Because you're
me is a
doing what
big
you
deal.
can. You're doing what you
Exactly.
can with what
You
you
can
got.
do what you
This
have,
is what I have. This
right.
is what I can do. You know.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's
So
and that's definitely where it starts. And
so this is tied to my struggle and
yeah,
my understanding of
nice.
the Black struggle. It
Yes.
has nothing to do with me saying, "Ooh, these
Right.
white folks is listening now.
Yeah.
Let me get some money. Let me get them to give us some change."
Right.
No,
Yeah.
if that happens to be
Yeah.
one of the reasons why they want to give, because they found out that their great great grandfather was a slave
Hmm.
owner, well,
Hmm.
baby, you better believe, go ahead and do whatever you
Yeah.
need to do,
Yeah.
because the government surely isn't going to
Yeah.
acknowledge us. There have been all sorts of races that have gotten reparations, and we've
Yeah.
gotten nothing, and we
Yeah.
worked for free.
Yeah.
So you can think what you
Yeah.
want to
We
think
built
and
this
how you
country.
want to think, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I'm going to elevate my sisters. I'm
Yeah.
bringing somebody with
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. And that's
I'm
what it's
never
about.
going
We had this,
alone.
we were talking about this, and I've been telling people this for weeks, because you have to use your platform where you feel you want to use your platform. If you don't want to be on the front lines, you don't have to. I think culturally we should be doing something, whether it be on a small level or be on a grand level. You decide on your own. But I've made this, we were talking about this when we were coming before we came on, that it's not a movement for me. I'm Black every day. This is 50. I'll be
Every day.
51 next month. In 3 weeks, I'll be 51. This has been 51 all, I've been Black for 51 years. So it's not a movement for me. This is my lifetime, my lifestyle every single day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Raising my children for 29 years. As soon as my first child was born, how can I walk them through the world to have the best life they can, but keep them aware of what could happen? That's been my
Right.
ministry for 29 years. And my
Yeah.
youngest is going off to college, but it still doesn't stop raising the one Black male I have to live in a nice community, but still being aware. So
Right.
this is every day. It's not a movement. This is my life. And you decide at what point where you want to give. I've been giving for years, to all different kinds of causes, but then just giving on my own. And sometimes just giving of self is enough. But like, I love
Right.
that the conversation is going, that people are talking, that more people are aware. I'm having a next, for friends who I have like 5 spaces available. I'm having a cultural conversation on Zoom next Monday about
Oh,
culture,
nice.
love, and race. And so it's a comfortable space where we can talk. And for anyone who's
I feel comfortable
yeah,
because I feel like this has been my life path,
yeah,
is to help people.
yeah.
And I've struggled, because if that is your life path, you're going to have a lot of pain.
Oh,
But
sure.
because I've had a lot of pain in my life, like a lot, I I'm obviously equipped. I
Yeah.
came out the other end
Hmm. Yeah.
like this, and
Yeah.
if you can come out of what I grew up in,
Hmm.
and you can elevate yourself,
Yeah.
then you obviously have the tools to
Yeah.
help others.
Yeah.
Despite what I went through in my life, I still have a desire and a passion, not only a
Yeah.
desire, but a passion to help other people. And I'm always like, "Man, I'm tired of helping people."
Yeah. I know.
It's
Isn't I
always
know. I
it's
know. I
always
know.
a point at which you have some
Yeah.
pain,
Yeah.
because of trying to. They say no good deed goes unpunished.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
gonna have some pain when you're
Yeah.
trying to help people, because you think you help this person, and you think that the least that they're gonna do
Right.
is to be, loving and honoring and respectful towards you or whatever. But sometimes it just doesn't go that
It
way, and
doesn't
people
work
are
like
just
that. Yeah.
stab you behind the back. They'll
Yeah.
hurt you.
Yeah.
They'll
Yeah.
mismanage their emotions
Yeah.
around you. All types of stuff. But that's stuff that you have to grow and be ready for.
Yeah,
And I
Lizette
definitely
and
am.
I were just Lizette and I were talking about that today on our chat, and we were talking about the things we experienced as childhood, and then the things that going forward, the pains and different things. And I say, I always use my age, because one, I don't even know what 50 is supposed to be like. Like, just alone, just one of the paths is me having, lost my hair of alopecia. So the journey doesn't stop for me because I don't have any hair. Actually, this is it. This is made my platform a little bit bigger because I'm just me. You know what I'm saying? But
Right.
everything that I've done in the course of my life, whether it be good, bad, ugly, has led me to this moment right here. Led me
Right.
to this moment talking to you, this community, and anything that I do going forward is because of everything before, and we all have a story to tell. And I teach my children, no one's story is more important than someone else's.
Absolutely.
So that's the key to it. You have to remember that. It may be like, oh man, that's she just going through that, but that's her thing she's going through. So
Right.
to take away from that, we all have a story, and if we are here right now, I think it's beautiful. It's so many things that could have happened. I grew up on the streets of Philadelphia. I could have been dead a long time ago, and so just to get from there to here is just a
Yeah.
wonderful, wonderful thing.
Right. When you look back on it, you're like,
Yeah,
man,
for real, for real. I say,
how
I'm
did I
telling
make it?
you.
I stand in amazement sometimes. I'm like, how did I even get here to this island with these folks on here? There ain't no black people here. Like I'm just like, there's literally like 20 black people, and that's on the
Wow.
high end of me
Wow. Yeah.
estimating how
Yeah.
many black people are here. But the community has really come together. I mean, there are signs everywhere in
Nice.
people's yards. In town, they have like a Black Lives Matter shrine going on. I mean, it's been
Wow.
up for 3 weeks almost. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just beautiful to see. People are like, I don't know if you other sisters and brothers out there are experiencing this, but I'm getting phone calls from my friends that aren't black. Are you okay? How are you doing?
Exactly.
Like
Exactly.
I feel so
Exactly.
loved right now.
I
Like,
know.
you know
I
what
yeah.
love feels like? Because
Yeah.
I'm just like, I feel
Yeah.
so overwhelmed with
Yeah.
love right now. I'm like, okay, I need a break from this love. I'm like, oh y'all, I'm okay, I'm fine. That's
I
all
know, and
right.
that's the thing. Because for a minute, I'm kind of like I'll get DMs and stuff, and I'm kind of like, okay, I'm good. I was the
Yeah.
same color. Yes or
But
no?
that's culturally,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
us. That's us. We don't need no help. We are
Exactly.
doing fine. We fine.
Exactly.
We
Yeah.
always fine.
We're doing
So
fine. Yes, we're doing fine. We
and we can do it. We can
yeah.
get it. We're gonna get it done. We're
Yeah.
gonna get it done. Like I said, that's why the reseller fund is so important to me, because it's like, how can I help in this
Yeah.
moment? I knew that I wasn't going to go out and do any protesting. I have two children, and the environment for me is just too iffy. I
Yeah.
want to make sure that I'm here for them, and I'm here for all of the things that my future holds that I feel like I'm going to do. And
Mhm.
so I just made the conscious decision that maybe that wasn't for me,
Mhm.
but this is something that I could do because I have to do something.
Yeah.
I cannot just sit back and do
Right.
nothing. That's just
Right.
not me.
Yeah.
So I had to do something, and that's what I came up with. I just woke up one day and I was like, this is right. This feels right. Like I know there are women out there, and I say women, I know there's a small amount of
Right.
men
Right.
resellers.
Mhm.
It's even smaller. There's a small black community of resellers,
Mhm.
but the community of black men resellers is
Mhm.
even
Yeah.
smaller than that.
Yeah.
And so, it was just the opportunity to help some of us
Yeah.
elevate, and then I was just like, this doesn't have to end right now.
Yeah.
Someone asked me, when do we, and it's so rude, well, when do we stop talking about this? Like, when are we gonna stop talking about black lives? I
Don't-
said, how about we start with 400 years?
oh my gosh! It's like, well, you know
How
what?
about we? I don't know what the right
Yeah.
answer to that is,
Yeah.
but how about we start with 400
Yeah.
years?
Yeah, it's
Let's talk
actually
about
we
this for
need
that
to
long.
talk about it. This is when we should be talking about it when the world is really seeing it now, because we've been talking about it community wise. We've been talking about it. Like I said, it's our everyday listening to the stories of our grandparents and our great grandparents. Like when I was young, my husband, he grew up during the civil rights movement. And he talks about the riots and the raids, the police coming through his house and tearing up. And I mean, he was like 11 when Martin Luther King was killed. So he's very present, and he's seen so many things. And so that's a conversation that has actually been going on for many, many years. Because when I say I'm 50, 100, 200 years ago wasn't that long ago. 400 years really wasn't that long ago. There's people who are living that are over 100 years old. So
Yeah,
if you think that it's just something happening, then it's not. This has been going on.
right.
So we do. I'm glad that the conversation is going and that more people are aware. And it's like,
And the stillness affords us the ability to do
yeah,
that.
yeah,
COVID has definitely put a strain on our
yeah,
lives in
yeah,
in many, many ways. But one beautiful thing that has come out of it is, people are now they bored. They
yeah.
bored. They like they ain't
They're
got nothing to do,
totally
so they
bored.
like
They're
they
bored.
like they're paying attention to what's going on
Right,
around them, because
right,
they don't have anything else to do. They ain't got no
right,
job to go to.
right.
They ain't got nothing to do, because we are literally being sat down
Yeah,
at home like, no,
right,
no, you can't go outside.
right.
So
Um,
we're literally, go
let
ahead.
me. I know I don't even mean to interrupt, but my stepdaughter's like sending me a message like my father's supposed to be picking me up. Where's he at? Wait a
Oh,
minute.
oh. So I'm just saying that COVID-19 has afforded us the ability to come together and talk to each other about, Black lives and how they do matter, and what we need to do going forward to, just to be able to live, in peace. I mean, can we just be free finally? I mean, we're free, but we ain't free at the
Yeah.
same time.
Yeah.
You know, like we free, but we ain't free. You know, can we get some peace going on here? And like I said, I felt very love over these past few weeks. I felt, you know, like this energy that we just weren't able to feel before. And a lot of my white friends, most of my friends are white, if I'm being honest, because I live in the PNW and there's not, it's just not that many black people that live in
Mm-hmm.
this area that I live in. So a lot of my friends are white and they're like, wow, I
Yeah.
didn't even know that I had white
Yeah.
privilege. They didn't even
Yeah.
know that
Yeah.
what it was or that it existed. And so it's a learning experience for everyone. And you know, I've had many in the past. I've had many friends. There's a balance that has to
Mm-hmm.
happen
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not gonna be one of those people that's just like, oh, the white folks did this to us in the past, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna hate all the white folk. You know, I can't be that person.
Right.
I've unfriended people like that. You know, like I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, my kids are half white, and you're
Yeah.
asking me to hate my kids. Like
Right.
I can't go there with you.
Right.
And quite frankly, you know, we can't ask for people to respect us and treat us with kindness and love, and we don't give that back. It's a crazy thing being black because you're
Yeah.
tired, and so you're like, why should I have to give love to
Yeah.
these people that did doing this stuff to
Yeah.
us? But like anything, it's consistency.
Yeah.
Never give up who you are at your core. What makes up black people, what makes us so special is the love that we give and the hope that we have to keep going
Mm-hmm.
and the things that we do. And we keep getting stepped on,
Yeah.
but we just like, I love you. And that's
Yeah.
a beautiful thing about us.
Yeah.
Don't stop just because, you know,
Yeah.
don't stop just because these horrible things.
Yeah.
Maintain who you are, the
Yeah.
beautiful, loving individual who is hopeful, who wants to see things get better. We don't have to turn it around. Now all of a sudden you know, white people and other people that don't understand our struggles
Mhm.
are paying attention to us. We don't have to get that arrogance about it, you know, like, oh yeah, you about time, you know. No, it's no.
Yeah.
No, this is a time for learning and growing and a time for us to share
Yeah.
and hear one another, because whether we like it or not, a lot of the non-black people that are sharing and trying to give to us and trying to understand our struggle, um, they don't even, you know, they're not their ancestors, just like we aren't
Yeah.
ours.
Exactly.
And we have to understand that, you know, sins of the father, we're taught that,
Exactly.
you
Yep.
know, all that whole thing.
Yeah. I
um
broke that generational curse.
yeah,
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 I broke that.
it
I broke
takes,
that generational curse
yeah,
a
it
long
takes a
time
lot
ago.
to be like, you
Yeah.
know what,
I don't. I don't bring that with me. Yeah. Because
yeah, I'm starting from
you can.
scratch,
Yeah.
but also remembering the past.
Yeah.
we
And you
we
can't
just
for we totally can't forget. Like, we can't forget the past,
absolutely
especially when it is that always that question of like, we don't belong here. First of all, well, in a sense we don't. Like, we built this country, but we were brought here against our own will. Like, everybody's story is not the same, because I do identify and I know where actually some of my ancestors come from. But the ones that came over on ships, they were stolen. They were
right.
living a good life, free, and kings and queens, and a beautiful life where they were. And so coming over now, not knowing the language, going through all the stuff they went through, and we built this country, just like you said, for free.
And it's a shock to all my non-black friends. It's a shock, the history that they're learning. They're like, oh my gosh, why, how did I not know that?
Yeah,
It's because in school they don't teach
yeah,
us those things, because
yeah,
the victor
yeah,
gets the right history, you
yeah,
know. So being that we, you know, we are the oppressed people, we don't get to write the books and we don't get to say what goes inside the books, and so you learn what you're taught.
yeah,
And so we all are, right now we're all relearning. We're
yeah,
all,
yeah,
everything that we were taught, we have to, okay, all right, I learned that, but now
yeah,
there's more.
yeah,
Now, you know, there's more.
yeah,
And it's crazy to me that we just don't know some of us don't even know our own history.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
I'm gonna be honest. I done
yeah,
learned a few things. Have
yeah,
you?
yeah, yeah.
All
I mean,
these
well,
Instagram posts.
seriously, yeah,
How I
especially
know
when you
that.
when you talk like Juneteenth and you talk about a lot of different things, and this is the thing. Like, don't get me wrong, like, because you can come from a space like, look, I'm still just trying to like just live my life, not sometimes, yes, you want to go back, you want to know there are things that we know. Some people only stop as far as king, but there's so much story way before that. I'm like, wherever you want to begin, at least have some idea, at least some idea, because like you were saying, they're not teaching this in the history books. So we have to educate ourselves so we can educate our children. you know
Right.
that's just like with anything in life. If I don't want to deal with that, then it's not a big deal. Just because I'm black doesn't mean I need to know everything, but because I'm a person who has been blessed to know like my great grandparents and a lot of the things that Sunday dinner, that was the conversation. While they
Right.
playing cards and everything, they're talking about the things that they were going through and the struggles and things. So that comes with me in terms of what I know. But then I also get a beautiful story where my great grandfather, he was not a slave. He was a man that came freely to the States from Nigeria. We're of the Ojubana tribe. So it's good to know those stories too, where my
Right.
grandfather, all his siblings, they still go back. Well, they're all gone now, but they were going back.
Hmm.
Some of them changed their name, and that's a good history to know. So you need to know something so that you can look. I would love to do my tree. I haven't done it yet, but if you go into Facebook and you type in Ojubana, they're all in the same little
Nice.
in Saba, Nigeria. So so it's good to know your history. You don't have to know all of it. You don't have to like search
I
for
think
it.
it's
But you
great
need to know
knowing
something.
the main tribe or the
Yes.
main area that
Yes.
where your family came from.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I would love to go to Africa
Yeah.
once I
Yeah.
figure out, because I have not.
Yeah.
I do know a lot of my history because
Nice.
so much of my family weren't slaves and they
Yeah.
had documentation. There's a lot
Exactly.
of, a lot of
Right.
documentation. But from the side that did have slaves, I don't know. And I would
Yeah.
love to know,
Yeah.
what part of Africa, and then go
Nice.
visit that part,
That's
submerge
beautiful.
myself in the culture and their spiritual beliefs,
Yeah.
and see what I can tap into. Because when you leave, you get detached
Yeah.
and you lose all that
Yeah.
spirit. So now,
Yeah.
I want to go back and I want to
Yeah.
tap into that.
Yeah.
So,
And see,
um
that's a beautiful thing right there. And that
I
is
can't
like,
wait to go back to the
yeah.
part of Africa where I'm
Yeah.
from.
Yeah. See, that hustling is
um
like, yeah. And like, that's what my uncles, when they were alive, they would go every year, and they would come back and say, gosh, the people in my father's village think we're kings and queens, like they would go. And then this is the thing that you really love. They go and get all the leather wares, they go pay $5 for a bag, whatever, and get a whole bunch of stuff, and they bring it back, and there they go. There's
yeah.
hustle. There's their
Yeah.
hustle. $5 in the village is a lot of money, but
Yeah,
here you
it's a
bring that
lot.
leather made by Nigerian, a village. Man, my uncles was coming. They was hustling, man. People were
Just to
putting
see how they
orders.
make all that stuff with
Oh
their
my gosh, the
hands, and
bath, the
so
whole thing.
creative with
My
very
gosh,
little. I
yeah,
mean, that's
it,
inside of your
yeah.
DNA code.
That
It's
that
inside that
definitely
creativity is in
is.
there.
That
And
is,
I
and that's
definitely
like when it even like now, because I'm very creative, I'm very artistic, I'm very like, but I get that from like my grandfathers. I was just telling my father on Father's Day, my mother's side, my father's mother, very creative with her hands and everything. And growing up, I wasn't with her that much, but after she died, would go around her house and see all this art that she created. And it was like, wow, amazing. And almost like she did live in a village and just sat all day and created. She made her own bowls and all kinds of stuff. And I was like, but that's a cultural thing, that
yeah.
down. So we need to find out where we get that from.
Mhm.
Like, yeah, you're going to go color and start drawing, but it's ingrained in you. It's in there
There's
somewhere.
a
So,
disconnect. There's a
yeah,
disconnect.
exactly,
when
exactly.
you know your history, and when you
Yeah,
can go back and you can see yourself and the accomplishments,
yeah,
then oh, I can do this. Oh, this
yeah,
is beautiful. I did this, I did that.
yeah,
And then you can go and do it yourself, because you have the power. Uh, without that, you're just like, who am I? What
yeah,
can I do?
yeah,
Like, you're
yeah,
stuck out here. A
yeah,
lot of Black people don't know that they come
yeah,
from greatness, and they
yeah.
come from a vast history, and there's so much out there
Right.
to learn about themselves. And they're just like, okay, I'm African American. No, there's more
There's
to you,
there's more to it,
and you
and I
should go
think
seek
that
that.
if people were more aware of what their history was, they wouldn't be getting into some of the things that they're getting into.
Yeah.
The fight and all the things that are culturally went through. Then you shouldn't be doing some of the stuff that you're doing. You should be like, look, I gotta go out here and hustle and stuff right now, because our families weren't. taking or doing whatever kind of thing. They were working hard. We were Lizette and I were just talking about that, how women, having babies, and then in a couple of days later they back out in the fields. They
Right.
back doing it. It was hard work. Everything that
Yeah.
they did, if you wanted to eat, you had to work for that food. Us gardening now, it seems cute. Oh, I got a little garden. No,
Right.
that was their whole thing. Like my husband, that's why I love his history. Right? His aunt, his parents are gone, but his mother grew up. They own all this land, and when he was growing up, it was cotton. Now they're growing soybeans. But his aunt is the only living one, and she has sons. But they have a whole family. Gosh, it's their land. And
Right.
it was like two small churches that are like 100 years old. Thomas talks about when he was little, and it was the outhouse, and there's the outhouse that's still there, the building's still there. So that's history. This is land that Black people owned. And you
Right.
can see it, everything, all these historic buildings, and then his aunt's like kind of 20-year-old house sitting in the middle of all this history. So we need to know that. We need to know, yeah, when you go down to Virginia, this is what is there, and yeah, Black people did have some cotton back then, and that's how they made money. And now it's soybeans. She still, she sells that soybeans, and now she rents houses and stuff on her property. So it's nice to know that history, that when we go, every time we go, he'll see something different and go, oh yeah, I remember the chicken was chasing me, tell me the story, this chicken and all this stuff. So I love that he can.
If you know about the Black epicenters, like Black Wall Street,
Mm-hmm.
it this is the direction that we're going to be moving in after
Yeah.
this. This is what I see.
I am
And
down for
so
it.
I'm wondering how this is all going to play out now that we all so woke. We all, that term woke. That's what happens when you learn a bunch of stuff and you wake up. So it's like, okay, not only do we know our history, but now non-Black people know our
Yeah.
history. Are we going to allow the government or people to come and bomb us, and are we going to allow these things to repeat themselves, or are
Yeah.
we going to do something about it?
Yeah.
So I'm watching closely, and I'm like, I'm loving seeing all the beautiful
Yeah.
businesses and
Yeah.
all the ideas coming up, but I want to see us stay on it, be
Yeah.
consistent. You never can let up. You never can feel
Yeah.
too comfortable. Like, you got it figured out. We got it made. We did it.
Oh, well,
It's
we
it's
never,
something
it
that
was never, yeah.
you always have to maintain,
Yeah.
as long as the other exists. And by
Yeah.
the other, I mean the oppression.
Yeah.
As long as that exists and it wants to rear its head, you
Yeah.
have to continue that whole thing. And it's a shame, but the more we stay consistent, the less we have to do.
Mm-hmm.
But we have to always be doing
Mm-hmm.
something.
Yeah. But I love the young people are doing their thing too. That's the beautifulness of it all.
Oh yeah, I'm sitting back
So
like,
many. Like I'm like,
they're
hello.
somewhere
But they
having.
were the ones back in the 60s though doing their thing too. It was like the parents going like, yeah, sweetie, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna mess with the men. We're not gonna do that. But the young people was like, listen now, I'm so sick and tired of this. I'm gonna go out and do something. So you see that again, like these young people out here are doing their thing, and I love it. I'm like, go ahead, I see
You're in
you.
the age of information, so
Yeah,
not only are you doing your thing, but people halfway across the country now can see you doing your thing
yeah,
via
yeah,
the internet.
yeah.
Because I mean, I was floored at seeing like that New Zealand march.
Mm,
New Zealand, they got hundred. What
yeah,
was it? It was so crazy. I almost started crying.
yeah,
I was like, "Oh my goodness,
yeah.
that's all for us!"
Yeah,
Like,
all the marches all over the world are tripping me out.
so
It's marches in
we can't
every
let
country.
we
Yeah,
can't let everyone
yeah,
down. We got to continue this fight, and
yeah.
we got to keep going.
Woo!
So that's the long
I know. We got
reason,
deep into it, didn't we?
yeah, of
So
why we started the reseller fund. Sorry, y'all, we got
hey,
kind
no,
of.
that's so. Hey, but I'm glad it's people. Look, if they were tired of us, they would be gone. There's still people on here. People commenting. Uh-oh, what happened there? It's people still on. So I want to end by like, so now going forward, what is your goal? Like, what are you hustling for in the next few months in terms of your business, in terms of the fund? Where do you see everything progressing? Let's give a deadline of like the end of 2020.
Well, my my business. Let's start with my business. I have several businesses. I'm just not a reseller.
Mm-hmm.
I actually have a brick and mortar store here in town. And I was, if this is the center of town where everybody shopped, I
Mm-hmm.
was way down there. Loved my shop, was happy about the opportunity. but I was always looking down the street going, I want to be part of the big show, you know. So
Oh.
since Corona happened, we
Mm-hmm.
had 7 stores shut down. Three of those just happened to be they were on the brink of retiring, which is a shop that I got. She was wanting to retire, and this just kind of pushed her over. Like, okay, now's the
Mm-hmm.
time. And then others just couldn't keep up. They couldn't cut it. So now those of us like me, I'm on the internet and I make a lot of money on the internet, so I can go in now
Yeah.
and I can take over one of those spots. So I applied for all 7, and on the 7th one, I didn't even apply, I was called. I had applied for another one of her spaces, and she
Nice.
actually had told me that they weren't looking for a shop like mine. And I
Really?
got a little salty because I was like, is it because I'm black? I
Yeah.
didn't even know.
Right.
And she
Right. Right.
explained to me why and everything, because they are a close knit community here, and they have it zipped up. So they don't want to, if you ever have like a clique or a group and it's just the vibe and the flow is
Yeah.
just so awesome, you don't want to
Yes.
let anybody else in
Yes.
that you
Mm-hmm.
don't know about them.
Right.
And that's understanding. I understand that. So once that space came available, someone else in the that has a store down the street, she asked them about me, and they gave me a great review, and they didn't require any paperwork from me or nothing. They
Nice.
went on my Instagram, saw what I was doing, and said, if you want the space is yours. And
Beautiful.
it's the largest space in town. So
Nice.
I didn't get any of the other spaces, but my dad always said, daughter, if you don't get something that you're really going for, that's because something else
No,
better is
that's right.
is
That's right.
coming for you.
That's
And
right.
so when that happened, when I kept getting denied, they were giving these
Wow.
stores to somebody else. I was like, oh, it's my turn. I
Right.
want to be up there so badly. And finally, on the last store that came available, which was the largest one, I got that one. So
That's good stuff.
now I'm in the renovation stage of that store. I still have my other store because I was like, I'm not gonna let $1,200 rent for
Right.
5 more months stop me. I'm
Right.
going to get that other place,
Right.
and I'm also carrying my old place. So I
Yeah.
have 2 stores in town currently,
Okay.
and I'm emptying that building. So August 1st is when I opened the new store. So I've been working on that. As far as my online business goes, I'm always adapting and shifting.
Mhm.
In the reseller world, you have to, I think,
Mhm.
based on, I mean, we're seeing it just because of COVID. When COVID-19 hit, everybody's like, where are we gonna get stuff? Where,
Exactly.
where how are we gonna like source? Where are we gonna
Right.
how are we gonna survive? This is
Right.
this is how we survive. But it's crazy because our community is actually one of the communities that's thriving. The reseller,
Right.
it was
For real.
already showing signs of greatness. With the surge of the millennials coming back and buying up all
Yeah.
the 80s and the 90s,
Right.
where
They can have
we were
it. That's
starting to
right.
see a
Come get it,
surge.
y'all.
Yeah, and now it's blown up. I think Denali posted something on her page the other day that said 27% up
Yeah.
from whatever time they were before.
It's amazing.
And I was like, wow, that is crazy. So
Yeah.
a few things that I'm doing with I've stopped selling my boxes because admittedly I got a little bit ahead of myself because um I know on my end, I'm doing everything I need to be doing,
Hmm.
but what I learned is that there are so many different things that can stop your shipments from coming to you, whether that be incompetence,
Hmm.
on someone's not doing their job,
Right.
riots happening because of everything that's going on,
Hmm.
and just flat out being sent the wrong things.
Hmm.
These are things that hit me like boom, boom, boom. First, I got a wrong shipment. I was making some boxes, had the boxes set up, ready to go. I got the wrong stuff. I got stuff with holes in it. I didn't get the right stuff. Still haven't been refunded for that.
Wow.
Then the next shipments I got came too late, and I got 3 pallets that got dumped on me because
Hmm.
they were all late. And then my latest shipment, they delayed because of all the rioting and protests that were going on. They actually decided not to ship for about a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Wow.
So those are things that made me pivot and say,
Hmm.
okay, I can no longer pre-sell my boxes because
Right.
I had run out of all the bin stuff. So before I knew I had all this stuff, I could just crank them out,
Right.
crank them out, crank them out, and it'd be fine. But I learned that it's not just me that I'm depending on anymore now that I've changed over to heavily buying pallets. I have to be able to receive the goods first,
Right.
and
Go.
then I can offer them,
Yeah.
because I don't
Right.
even know what I'm getting,
Exactly.
and I don't even know when I'm gonna get it.
Yeah.
And you can't get mad because they don't care. They're like, we'll
Yeah.
get it to you when we get it to you.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I have changed, is I'm no longer offering boxes. I'm making them ahead of time.
Okay.
So that's one thing I'm doing. Another thing I'm doing is I'm thinking about completely going for the rest of the year, because I do have the store that I'm working on and that I'm very passionate about. And the boxes, I'm going to continue. I'm going to go to the bins. I'm going to utilize those 4 boxes because you can find new things there. That
Mm-hmm.
keeps the cost for me lower. I
Mm-hmm.
felt like because I was doing the pallets, my box price was just getting higher and higher and
Right.
higher.
Right.
And I want to be able to bring that back down and, offer the boxes for under $100 like I
Right.
had before. But because more resellers were getting in, I've been buying pallets for a while, but
Right.
I'm seeing that they're like
They're going.
doubling,
Yeah.
and then they're like
Definitely.
tripling. And
Yeah.
so I have to double and triple by the box
Right.
price, of the Lux box. So that's one thing that I'm going to do, is I'm going to go back to the bins, and I'm going to do my boxes with the bin stuff. And then as far as the pallets go, I've been basically trying to send everything that's in that box to thread up.
Yeah.
And I might even cross over to just buying the pallets and
And just sending them.
sending it to thread up,
Right.
because I'm seeing such a large return on that.
Yeah.
I'm like, why am I
Is
even
it?
listing?
Yeah.
I don't like to list. It's
Yeah.
not my favorite thing. And I've
Mm-hmm.
tried many things to trick myself into
Mm-hmm.
being consistent. And I have a main eBay account, and I'm pretty good on that because I've gotten so much on that account that I can just, hit the
Right.
redo button on that.
Right.
Something doesn't sell, I can get it back on there, and I
Right.
don't have to list too much. But trying to start new eBay accounts, or trying to start a new Amazon, or put going into my Poshmark, I just haven't been successful with that because I need more help, because I have so many other
Mm-hmm.
external things
Mm-hmm.
going on, other
Mm-hmm.
businesses, stock, my portfolio, and all kinds of stuff that's coming at me, like I need to pay
I can
attention to
relate.
stuff. So I'm trying to actually get out of listing, and it's not a passion of mine anymore. I don't want to sit at a computer and list anymore. So I've decided to temporarily try sending everything to
Yeah.
ThreadUp, because
That's good.
that frees me up. That frees me up. All that time I get back.
Yeah.
And I need more time because
Yeah.
I'm like running out. It's either I hire someone
Mm-hmm.
or I find more time.
Yeah.
And this is how temporarily I'm going to try it out and see
Mm-hmm.
financially I can afford. I think it's a 45-day wait for
Yeah.
payout right now.
Yeah.
It used to
Mm-hmm.
be 21 days.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I can afford to do that. So I'm going to try this, temporarily to see
Good.
how it works for me. And that's what I'm doing with my business. So I'm still gonna make the boxes, and I'm still going to send into ThreadUp, but I've all but halted every listing on
Yeah.
platforms, just because I wake up one morning, I'm like, I'm gonna do this, and I just do it
Yeah.
because I get an idea and I
Yeah.
want to try it, and I'm gonna do it.
You sound
I
like
might
me.
be doing one
Yeah.
thing another one day, and then the next
Hey,
day I'm like,
I know.
I'm gonna do this.
I know.
And ThreadUp, they take the pictures for me.
Isn't that a beautiful thing? Oh my gosh. Like,
I sent them 15 boxes last
oh
week.
my
So,
gosh. Yeah.
I'm deep into it now. And I'm
Yeah.
like, you know what? I can hire someone to
Yeah.
pack these boxes up for me and
And
feel comfortable, because I'm a control when it comes to my business, and I like to
mm-hmm.
control my own thing. I know
Right.
I can't control what you do or
Yeah.
what anybody
Right.
else does, but when it comes to my stuff, I
Yeah.
need to be able to control it, because I
Exactly.
want my boxes to be perfect. I want, so since I
Yeah.
like to make my boxes extra
Mm-hmm.
special, I need more time. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna hire someone to do the thread up boxes, so they can I get the pallets and they're just cranking away. They're, lint
Mm-hmm.
brushing, using
Yeah.
the heat gun to get
Yeah.
the red tags
Yeah.
off from them being on sale,
Yeah. And
putting it
they
in the
have the
box.
different size mannequins, so it
Yeah.
photographs well. You see the plus size stuff. They have everything you need. I
Hmm.
had Melissa from Vandy's Closet on. I wasn't sending anything to ThreadUp, and after talking with her, I was like, I'm going to do it. I didn't want to do a course or anything like that because I'm like you, I'm streamlining my business, but I was already giving away. Like I was like, I'm gonna just send it. And I had all this stuff in these huge bags. And as soon as as soon as I talked to her on that live, I just went through and put everything in boxes. And she just mentioned the expedited processing. And that's what I've been doing. I'm like $26, because it's like 10.99 to have it come back.
Oh yeah, I have
Then
one
extra
thing in there that'll take care of
$16.
that.
Yeah, because the first 4 boxes, I just sent them regular way. They've
Right,
already, I sent them 11 boxes and they've expedited 4, and the first 3 are still sitting there and they won't be processed till by August.
right,
And so they send me messages and they took a lot of stuff. So I'm not sourcing really any more anyway. I have
right.
shoes, I have lingerie, I'm doing vintage. I'm really going to focus on vintage. And then with everything going on, I've gone back into my Zen space, which is handmade. I'm a creative person. So I just started like tie-dyeing because I had it for 8 years. I was crochet designer and my hands was like, Les, you can't do it anymore. So after
Right.
2018, I closed it. That was more successful to me than reselling. But my hands was like, girl, you better put that needle down. And so when everything started going on, I wanted to figure out a way of what could I do. Started making these tie-dye shirts and started giving to the NAACP, but I also am looking for like some smaller, I have 2 smaller organizations, for young girls, organization that my girls went through. And I'm like, it's an organization that I could be given to help them go through their teenage years. So I'm working on
Right.
that because I wanted to be the smaller ones where I know the money is going. Like I didn't have to pay for anything when they got into this program. So I'm working on that. And the tie-dye stuff has just been blowing up. And I'm like, I might have to, 3 days a week, you put 6 shirts and you squirt them with some stuff, and then you got
Yeah, yeah.
and you're making some money. So I have a vintage
The
shop that I was
trends.
throwing everything in, but I just separated that and put my own, opened up a new handmade Etsy store, and I have my vintage store. And I said, vintage, I'm going to play around with it. But I'm like you, I'm streamlining everything. I have like 8 to 10 sources of income. I mean, we can't
Yeah.
be stopped. We can't be stopped. Consulting,
I have
reselling
a
is only
clothing line.
55% of what I do.
I have a clothing line that we actually were I got 5 samples. I was able to get 5 samples back before COVID hit.
Oh my
I was
gosh.
supposed to have 20 samples. Um I don't let a lot of people know this, but I'm highly involved in the marijuana industry, and so I have a marijuana women's clothing line
Okay.
that I'm working on. It's my baby, and I don't talk about it much or at all
Yeah, that's
with
going to do really
anyone.
well, though.
With anyone, because I ideas. You keep your ideas to yourself, right?
Well, and I think that's really important that you do that, and
Yeah.
just like then all of a sudden here it is, ta-da! I think that's really important. I'm the same way.
Hmm. Yeah. So people do the things that they do it. So reselling is not my number one passion. Go figure. It's not my number one passion. So I need to make room
Yeah,
and space for what is. And I feel like I've been working like a dog since the middle of last year. I've been working so hard. I was like, wait a minute, I totally about to forget about my dreams and other goals
exactly,
that I got going on. So this
exactly.
is what I'm doing to make space for
I
that
love
so
it.
that I can complete that. Um, and actually launch and be able to put something out there, because I know people that were watching on my Facebook,
Hmm.
people that were watching my growth with the
Hmm.
clothing line. I know they're like, okay, where did
Okay,
it
what
go?
happened? Hmm.
I don't
Yeah,
want to become one of those people that's like,
yeah,
okay, she started something great but she
right.
never finished it.
Yeah, yeah,
I do want to finish it, but I need more time, and
yeah,
I have to figure that out.
yeah.
And this is what I'm doing. So if you hear this and you say, oh wow, I need more time, I think I'm gonna do that thread up thing.
Hmm. I
I highly would
recommend
say
it
go
too.
for it. I would do
Yeah,
it's a great opportunity to be
definitely.
able to just relax and like do something else for a second and let someone else list for you, and let them. I might go back to listing five
Yeah.
or 6 months from now, but
Hmm.
right now I need the time. I feel pulled and called to be able to invest in myself and to complete some of my goals that I had started, years ago. So that's what I'm doing. And also, ThreadUp does have a thing that they do when they start to get anytime. I feel like anytime I talk or I go on a live or something, they like shut down. They're like, no, we're not accepting anymore. So go and I print up to 50 labels at a
Yeah, that's what.
time.
Yep, that's what you do.
Yeah, I print up to 50 labels at a time because my business require it's it's really, that's part of the foundation of my business. And if it is, you need to make sure that you're able to utilize it. So I'm already planning for the future. You know, I've got my labels, and if they shut down, I can be
You're
like,
already
okay,
set
I've
because once
got
you
my
print your
labels.
labels,
You
yeah,
know, I still
yeah,
have
they have to
15
take it
Lux
once you print your
labels.
labels. So listen what Ty just said. If you plan on sending something to ThreadUp, don't wait until you've got things boxed up. Go in now. It doesn't cost any money. Print your labels. Don't wait for those cute little circle bags to come. Print your labels. You can send up to 30 pounds in a box. So she says she prints up to 50 at a time. It's really important because it's a lot going on. People are getting smart to ThreadUp. And so, like she said, it will shut down. Like they send me messages and things like that when things are like slow, but they already got my stuff.
And it's
It's
gone.
been,
They've had like shutdowns that last two
yeah,
months long.
yeah. And
I mean,
especially
two
now with
months.
everything going on, because really we might be going into another wave. I mean, COVID is not over. It's like with people going out and being in large groups now, it's places that are starting to like deciding to shut down again. So you have to reevaluate your business. So I think that's really smart. I personally don't have anything else to send to them right now, but I will probably still print out, and you can still print out labels. And they keep them. If you go into your account, it'll show you how many labels that you've printed out. Like I have 3 I printed, and I haven't sent anything in, but the labels are here and they don't
Yeah,
go
the
bad.
labels are
They
good.
don't go
They're good.
bad. So that's the key to it right there. And you can get more information. You know, I'm pretty sure Ty, Melissa's really good. Vandy's Closet. There's a lot of people who are doing Thread Up. And one of the things that Ty was saying, to get back time, you can get back time. I mean, like technically you can't, but you can own your time. And that's what I did in May. I called May my mindset month, where I set and really dove in deep of where I want to be in the next 6 months. You know, I'm going into
Right.
51, and I'm like, you know what? I'm like, Ty, who wants to be listening and doing stuff all the time? If I am going to be doing business, I want it to be something
I
that
need a
is
break.
me, right? You need a break, but then you also want to focus on this stuff because, like, you know, you were saying, I have like 2 books that I have outlined. It's time for me to
Oh,
kind of get
nice.
back to the things that I'm doing. Like I wrote the ebook, but these are personal books. So I
Right.
gotta get back on that track. But I took May off to really evaluate. June, I'm finishing off my tie dye and getting my vintage closet together, because vintage, you don't have to have a whole bunch of stuff. So that's my goal. I'm gonna throw it on there, and if it sells, it sells. But then now I can go and do other things. That's why the community, I love the community. I love you guys. But then they'll go, well, what do you mean you're doing something other than reselling? Like that's not who I am, you know. And that's why I have these chats so that people can see that we go beyond that. Yes, a lot of us, we're essential workers, we have jobs, but the people who are full-time, that's not all you do. There's other things. You have goals and dreams. Reselling has been the platform that has allowed me, one, to create a platform, to become a
Right.
reseller's passion, to make the money, so now I can make moves on everything else. So
Right.
don't, if you want time back, you need to sit down and evaluate. You need to take time within yourself and figure out what you want to do. You
I
know,
mean, I've been selling on eBay for let's see, that would be 18 years.
that's a lot.
And
Yeah.
now I'm going to sit here and I'm saying, I'm going to take a break. I don't even know what that looks like. I don't even know. I'm like, a break from Bay?
Yeah.
No, I can't do
Yeah.
that. And people are like, well, if you do that and that, you can make double the money.
Yeah.
You know what? No,
It's a lot of work.
no,
Yeah.
it's not worth it. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm fine with the money that I make. And if I can make it switch and do something
Yeah.
else and make that
You make
same
it,
or
exactly.
more,
Let
I'm
somebody else do
fine
all
with
the
that.
work. Yep.
I'm fine with that. I try not to get caught up in just because I spent so much time on
Yeah.
something, that means
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
leave it or
Yeah.
do it. That it does. I mean, at any given moment, if you feel like the time you're spending on something is not going anywhere, you can switch it up at any time. I had a girlfriend that she went to school for teaching, and she kept going for the higher
Hmm.
the higher degrees. And
Right.
every time she goes, I'm burnt out. I don't want to do this anymore. I said, girl, why do you keep doing it? She's like,
Exactly.
well, I put in 7 years already. I'm like, girl, stop. Don't
And
put
you
any
only getting like a $5 raise.
yeah, don't
You
put
got
any
student
more
loans and you
time
only getting a
into that.
$5 raise. You know, isn't that
Stop and
something?
find your passion. Do
For
something
real.
that you want to do.
Yeah.
Keep doing your job you're doing.
Oh,
Don't
for real.
quit your job.
For
But
real.
at the same time, don't put any more energy
I
into
know.
that, trying to grow it and trying
I
to,
know.
put more energy into what it is you want to
Yeah.
do.
Right.
And you can use your job that you have as being a teacher
Yeah.
to as the catalyst to help
That's what
you.
you say the same thing that I say. I'm like, I tell that to the community all the time. what do you have within you that you can utilize? If you're a teacher and you've been complaining that there isn't a program or something in school that would help your students, you create that program yourself. You don't have to wait for somebody to give that to you. You sit down and
Exactly.
come up with a course and you sell it. You sell it on your own. Advertise and take ads out and start that program. And now here you are. You're a millionaire from this program. The schools didn't want it, right? Or they weren't implementing it. Now here you
Yeah.
are. Don't wait. Take what you already have and go to the next level with it. Don't be held back. We have dreams and goals. I have never let my children be an excuse for me not getting my hustle on, because what happens is they're going to see me hustle and they're going to go, wait, I'm going to see if I can beat my mother in her hustle. That's what I'm going to do. 20 years from now, I want them to go, yeah, now, mom. And I'm like, yeah, that's okay. I'm totally retired now. No, see me in Europe. Well,
Yeah.
y'all
My kids are so
listening.
funny. They came here from Texas and they left all their stuff that they had on Poshmark in Texas, and my daughter goes, "Oh man, I made a sale, but it's back in Texas." I said, "Have your daddy grab it
Yeah.
and have him. This is what he need to do." And we got that
Yeah.
item moved
Yeah,
from
hustling
Texas
family.
to
There you go. Our girls sold on Poshmark. I have one who still sells on Poshmark, so that's a beautiful thing. But Ty, I'm gonna like go. This has been like such a great conversation. And the first thing I want to say to everyone who hung in there with us, man, like Lizette's been on there from the beginning. Melissa's been commenting. Everyone who has joined us, we appreciate you so much.
Thank you. I can't see
Like
I
there's
can
somebody.
see
This is a
the
question.
live comments, but I can't comment myself.
Somebody, I just put one on the screen. Somebody just asked you a question there. It says, "Are you putting your eBay store on vacay or leaving eBay fully?"
Well, first of all, I have three eBay stores, and two are babies. They're not, they're not.
Yeah.
I think I used one for eBay Emotion. I did that, and then I have a main account, and the things are listed on there. I'm gonna let them stay, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
not gonna reload anything. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
gonna kind of, if it's there, it's there, and I'll maintain it. Ooh,
Yeah.
it's coming through weird. I'll maintain it, but I'm not gonna put any more energy into it right now because, as
Yeah.
I said, let me turn this around. As I said, I'm trying to put more energy into my goals and my dreams, and so that's going to require me to get some time back, and it's a hard decision that I had to make, but right now it seems like um, when I raked in that the large amount of money that I did last month for ThreadUp, I quickly realized the
Yeah.
potential, and I was like, okay, I've been making money, but um so when the 45 days started,
Mm-hmm.
I had already been sending every day. I was sending two or
Wow.
three boxes to them. And so about about 2 weeks ago I started
Mhm.
seeing the
Nice.
I started actually
Nice.
seeing the money payouts come, and I'm like $800 one day, $1,200 another day. I'm like,
Nice.
all I did was put something in a box.
Something in the box and put a label on it. Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
now that's got me thinking, like, okay, like what can I do with
Yeah.
this? Because I don't even like listing. So
Yeah.
I was
Hey, I
about to
say keep
hire someone
going.
to start doing that for me. So
Yeah.
I mean, as much as I will probably start pulling some of those items and
Yeah.
taking them off of eBay
Yeah.
and shipping them to
Yeah.
ThreadUp, because I'm testing right now.
Yeah.
I'm just testing it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm gonna go forever. I'm not saying I won't ever go back to listing. What
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying is that I'm recognizing
Yeah.
that I'm making a lot of money here,
Yeah.
and I'm putting very minimal time into
Yeah.
it, and I'm still able to clear a grand a day,
Yeah.
or even
That's good
more a
stuff.
day. I've
Yeah.
I've had $2,000
Yeah.
payouts.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm seeing that, and I'm like, oh gosh, how about I do this for a while and
Yeah.
see where it takes me, because
Yeah.
I think we get so tied up with the shipments and the packages and showing, oh, we shipped this much today.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I don't care about any of that.
But
All
you're
I
not
care about
making
is
it.
the
But
money.
I always on the other end, like, yeah, it could be 20 packages, but that person only made like $50. So it's not
Right,
that thing.
right.
And I'm with you on that. Like, my goal again is to. I would really love to get rid of reselling altogether. So when I had 1,200 items sitting in my Poshmark closet. I am down to 300 items, and that's mostly shoes and lingerie. all that stuff. I'd sent some stuff, but after talking to Melissa, I was like, oh, let me send it. I literally sent them like 800 items. And just like Ty said, the payouts coming in. I'm not going to be doing a whole lot of sourcing, but for the next 3 months or so, I'm going to be seeing the fruits of that. And I love how they show you what they keep. You can go in and track everything. It's like
Right.
really amazing. And so for people who never thought about it, do it. Like, it doesn't have to be like this big thing for you. If you love reselling and taking photos and all that, I didn't. And even my husband, you were talking about how you were on eBay for 18 years. That was what Thomas, when I met him, he was on eBay, but he just closed his eBay store. And then everybody goes, what? You close your eBay store? But he's 62. He knows. He's like, look, I'm tired of them. And he just sent a box off the thread up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I mean,
he sells on
it's
Poshmark.
getting on eBay. It's getting kind of
Yeah.
heavy with
Yeah.
they don't really care about the seller thing.
No, they
And
want
I
the
hate
big
dealing with
stores.
the
Yeah, the main,
customer.
for people like us, we're nothing. They want the big stores because you make a mistake, too many returns, too many different things. Everybody has a different opinion, but once they start with people returning stuff, I'm like, yeah, I can't with you. At
Yeah,
least with
yeah.
Poshmark, they
It's
like give
getting
you a
pretty
pause.
bad, and I'm too busy to deal with
Yeah,
it.
like I
No
don't have
returns.
time. Yeah, no, yeah, and you can't say, oh, I'm not taking returns because eBay like
Yeah, because they can
return.
force it on you now, and it's
Yeah,
like,
people are like, oh, I don't do returns. Yeah, you keep playing if you want to. Don't have that Poshmark
and
mentality.
my accounts are concierge accounts because before I got a concierge accounts for eBay open, I already had one. So
Mm,
so I got two.
yeah, yeah,
so
awesome.
my accounts are, I can call them and I can be like, look.
Yeah,
Whereas the regular, if you don't have a concierge account, you can't just be like, okay, eBay,
right, exactly.
such and such. They listen to me more
Yeah,
because I have the concierge account.
right,
So
right.
I can go in, something that you would have to take a return
Hmm.
for. I don't. I
Yeah,
might have to fight on the phone with them for
yeah. You might have
45
to deal
minutes,
with them on the
but
phone.
I'm gonna get it done.
Yeah,
I haven't had any returns
yeah,
since they implemented that because I'm a fighter. I'm like,
yeah,
so yeah, and I put a lot of like security things inside of my listings. I put Tyvek bracelets on my items,
yeah.
and so that if you remove it, you've worn it, and that's it.
That's
I do
it.
a lot of things,
That's
and
it.
so some buyers don't even bother buying stuff from me. They're
Yeah,
like, okay, my goal is to return this, so
yeah,
I'm not gonna buy from her because
yeah,
I'm gonna have trouble trying to return it.
yeah,
So I need an eBay break. I
yeah.
need a break from
It's nothing wrong
listing.
with that. It's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I need to be able to finish my goals and my dreams because I think that if I'm successful in that, then reselling will be a memory. It won't be something that I'll do anymore.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
telling you, I
because
can't wait to see what happens because that's my thing. I just want to go into, before COVID happened, I had been invited to speak on panels and do different things. I want to go into the motivational speaking. I want to be able to take some time and write a book. I don't want to have to worry about what's going on and selling clothes after a while. That gets old. It's like, just like you said,
yeah,
if I can get some pallets or whatever, because we're moving soon. When we get down south, Thomas is talking about pallets. If he wants to do that, then I'm with him, partnership 100%. But other
yeah.
than that, it's like I can't with it. So,
It's
but
getting so expensive, but I'm
yeah,
rolling with it.
I know that was the same thing that Denali was saying. Is like, there are some disadvantages, but then there's some advantage, more advantage than disadvantage. But with
Right.
anything, it's a learning process. You take the good with the bad, and it's how you interpret it. Like, you get some bad stuff, you can turn that around real quick. What you think may not be good for you, you can send somewhere else or figure out something different. So it's all about interpretation. Like, I was going to answer New England Betty Boop said she had a bad experience with ThreadUp. My suggestion is you cannot just give up the first time. One thing is you have to educate yourself. After Melissa was on, I went in and did some of the things that she briefly talked about on our chat, and then now they're taking my stuff. So you cannot be discouraged. That's what happens in the world. We do something once and we expect this big, thing to happen. And when we don't get fireworks, we're just like,
You
yeah,
have to treat
yeah,
ThreadUp like you have to treat that
yeah,
all business. I mean,
yeah,
write down what you're sending in each box. And I know it's tedious, but
yeah,
if it's something that you're going to lose, like if they
right,
lose it
right,
and you got to be able to say,
yeah,
"Oh, okay, this was inside the box," then of
yeah,
course you want to keep a record of that.
right,
And so my first box that they lost was from California. So I was like, "What?" Cuz I had Lejeune, so however you say that in there. I
wow,
had a spell and I had Ace and Jig. I
yeah,
just
some
had
good
all
stuff.
the revolve pieces and I
Wow,
lost my box. And then they
wow,
said, hey, tell us what you had in the box and we'll
yeah,
give you
Yeah.
what we would have, we'll price it and
Nice.
we'll give. So it ended up being a couple of grand that they gave
That's
me
good
back in the
stuff.
box right off the top into my
That's good
account,
stuff.
transferred
Yeah,
into my
it's all
bank
about
account.
communicating too.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. And
because
so,
yeah, it's all about not giving up. And look, that's your money. I told just like I raised my kids, everything you do is money. That phone is money. You know,
yeah,
that tablet's money. That's money. You lost money. You're gonna go look for your money, right? You're gonna
absolutely.
open up a case for your money. Don't just let your money sit out there and there you
Yeah.
go. They
So
gave you
you're right. Don't give up. Just communication is
yeah,
key. Keep at it. You can't be lazy about it.
yeah,
It's not going to come to you. People mess up.
yeah,
And so you're going to have to
yeah.
work with them. I
Hmm.
just bought 3 pallets. Y'all didn't see it. I was so furious that I didn't even post it. But
Wow.
our Goodwill here had said, okay, we'll sell you pallets.
Right.
And we'll sell you the raw pallets for, I think it was 300, and then they sold salvage pallets for 105 or 150 or something. I said, okay, I'll take 3 raw. I rented a U-Haul that cost me $500. I went across the water, picked up the 3 pallets, came back, so that was 178 because it costs more the bigger the vehicle, the more it
Okay.
costs.
Right.
I stayed in a hotel that night because my pickup was like 9 a.m. that morning.
Okay.
Came back home and I had trash inside of my pallets. And when I say trash, I mean there was nothing in there sellable. It was absolute trash. I tried to get my money back and they were like, "No, we're not gonna." It was a gamble. I was like, "Yeah, but underneath they had like a label that
Hmm.
said raw on it. Underneath that label, it said salvage. Like they
Yeah.
had literally put a label on top of a label. Um,
Wow.
so at the bottom of the pallets were all linens, and then at the top it was just like different. I had a shadow box, some pots and pans, some
Wow.
clothes. So that signified to me, okay, this stuff is stuff that we went through, or when the store was open and they stored it or whatever they did to ship it off, whatever. Then they tried to sell it back to me. So I had to go, and instead of when they told me they weren't going to give me my money back, instead of getting heated, I went right over to my bank, filed a claim.
Nice.
Yesterday, I got my
Um,
$1,044
That's
back
good
in my
stuff. That's good
pocket.
stuff. That's good stuff.
And you
Well,
better be glad I ain't taking you to court for
oh,
no
let me tell
eBay
you. Look, so she
U-Haul.
sound like me. Let me tell you something. She sound like me. I would definitely, Christy Mackey. I would say, refer your questions to other people. We've been on 2 hours. We're about to roll off. Vandy's Closet. Melissa could probably help you. She helped me a lot. Just looking at her feed, you get a lot of information for ThreadUp, and there's so many other people out there. Watch some ThreadUp videos. People give information away for free.
And
But
also Krangle, if you don't want to
yes,
go the
Kringle.
free
She has
price,
also she has a course.
you can
Yes, she
go
has
to
$100 a
look.
course.
Here's a plug. You can go
Yeah.
onto my account. I have a discounts plugged in.
Yes.
Go to my link profile and get the Krangle Thread Up course. I mean, it's gonna change
Nice.
your life. She does like Vandy took her
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
So
Vandy
if you
took the
like
course.
Vandy's numbers,
Yeah.
maybe give it a
Yeah.
try.
Yeah.
Go on my profile.
There you go.
Get
So there you
go
go.
on the
So
link.
so just all you have to do is just stop by Lux Huntress or even Vandy's Closet. They have a lot of information. Like I said, I'm not doing enough that I want to take a course. I'm like, bam, there you go. But if you want to progress, I hear it's really worth it. My business model is just very simplistic, so I am super cheap too. So, but no, you know, I'm like, I'm like
Totally get
ThreadUp
it.
has. They're gonna have by the time it's done 20 boxes, whatever they do with that. Hey, I'm good with it. But if you want to continue on, definitely there are a course that you can take. Girlfriend is bringing in the money too. She's doing her thing. Because I was just on her profile the other day. So
Hmm.
definitely. But I want to thank everyone for coming. Ty, I really appreciate
Yes,
you for
thank you for
sharing
coming,
your
guys.
transparency. It was even more beautiful than I imagined it would be. We
I
had
had
some
a wonderful
technical
time. Thank you
difficulties,
for
but
having
things
me.
happen for a reason. We stuck in, the people stuck with us, and I can't wait to just talk to you. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. I can't wait to hear more about what's going on with the fundraising, and I'm going to be watching you, sis.
The
And
pallets are coming. They're coming.
they're
They'll
coming.
be next week. So the boxes will go
Nice,
out at the end of next week or the
nice.
beginning. Yeah. So
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
look, I'm gonna be like, okay, in about 6 months. I'm like, yes, so where's the clothes? That kind of thing. I'm like that. People, anybody that know me know that. Like, oh, once you just share it with me, I'm just here to nudge you a little bit because I want people to do the same thing too. I want you to send me a message and say, oh, well, when you on that chat with Ty, you were talking about this book that you were about to, what's going on with that. Same
I'll
thing.
be
We have to
like, how's
push
the
each
book going?
other. Yeah, we have to push each other. So I'm gonna be like, okay, yeah, let me see those. What you got some cannabis clothes coming out? What? You said that.
Yes.
So
Oh man.
look.
I'm like, I have to do this. This is my dream. This is my goal.
Yeah.
Let me do it. I've got excellent ideas. Let me put
There
them
you go.
together.
There you
You know what
go.
I'm
So
saying?
just yeah, now you're buying back that time by sending your stuff to ThreadUp, so you won't have any excuses. Get those stores together. By December, I don't know.
I just changed my business the way I was doing things like 6 months ago, and I'm doing it again.
It's
So
all about change. Life is a journey. There is, no
gotta be
destination. Life is a
flexible.
journey. Exactly. Constantly changing, constantly growing as we do. As we age, we grow and mature. So that's what it's about. Our businesses should do the same thing. They should mature and grow with us. So I just want to tell you, I
Absolutely.
appreciate you. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Even just being steady with all the challenges we were having with our technical difficulties. It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Thank you
Thank
for
you,
having me. Yeah.
friends.
And thank you guys for tuning in. And see you on the flip side.